Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year, because it is a little bit before that, and a happy holiday the day after, or the wonderful day of Christmas. I've been awake for 45 minutes on the day because of my work schedule. We've got food everywhere. You're going to hear a lot of that chewing. But you know what? Bear with us. Also,
and we got new decorations.
Ladies and gentlemen,
because I
we
bought
got some
myself
new
Christmas
decorations.
presents.
Leroy's going to be posting Leroy has already
I
posted
did put
a
on
picture
Twitter.
on our Facebook. We got Big Goldie over here, and then we got the 10 pounds of gold. Jesse's the wonderful recipient of them staring at him all day long.
It's just inspiring. I mean, how
my
can you not
God.
look at this and just be inspired?
I did tweet out the pictures
He did.
of
He
that,
did.
so yes.
But anyways, like I said,
Especially good old Charlotte here. Like,
yeah.
she's so beautiful.
And the fun part is we've all got to see the real one.
We have, yes.
With
Yes.
the former real champ there, Nick Aldis.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But anyway, folks, we got a very packed show. First and foremost, we would like to announce, I believe the total is, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, $38,046.
Yes.
Yes,
that's correct.
The Women of Nations show that we were at, Grand Slam 3, raised that much money for the Women of Nations
Big
Eagles.
ups, guys.
Yeah.
Big ups.
Eagles Nest.
Big
and
ups, guys. Great stuff.
what a wonderful, wonderful night. I think one of the things that was understated of that night is just this ability for people to not realize it didn't matter how old people were.
Right.
Jerry the King Lawler was the most over man in Minnesota
Yes.
on that night.
Yes,
and by the
he
way,
was. He totally
AEW
was.
had a pay-per-view that night.
Yes, they did.
And Jerry was still more over. If you
I
wonder why
believe so,
Jerry
yes.
doesn't go to work for Tony, it's because that reaction comes because Vince has the marketing scheme.
There's no reason for him to. I mean, it's great that every now and then they can get Brett, who's just a legend, and I love him.
He's very bitter right
But he's
now.
a bitter old man.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's beautiful that Mark Henry's there. By the way, his son looked good on, I think that was Thursday
He
at,
did,
a game.
Yeah.
Football player, really good football player.
Yeah.
Who apparently was talking, the rumor is that maybe, he was interested in the NIL program in the future with WWE. We'll see. That's what happens because he would be taken care of there. Mark is still family there.
Oh, I guarantee. Well, but again. So as we get into the new year, we have a lot of things to talk about. Actually, in Spot Monkey, because this is now the end of the. So for the first time in 4 years, but for the second time of this century,
Right.
TNT no longer will have wrestling. Although wait, is Rampage going to still be on?
Rampage
TNT?
will still be on TNT.
Okay, so
That'll be for that hour.
So what you're saying is that still TNT will not have wrestling.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Or at least it will have it, but nobody will be watching it.
No one will watch.
But anyway, no. Okay. First and foremost, if you put Hook on every Friday, you might get some viewership because
so good.
Oh my God, folks, go watch the second match he had.
Oh, this kid.
Was the guy from Bear Country?
Yes, Ben
okay.
Bronson.
Yeah, okay.
So good.
I want to make this clear to any viewer who never saw his dad. That right there.
Listen,
that's what Taz was at the height of the ECW.
Taz was known as the Hook Thug, which is a suburb of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
What we called Crooklyn back in the day because of all the crime.
Right. Yeah.
And he came up as just this dude who trained with not only a former Hall of Fame amateur wrestler,
right,
but a couple of former pro wrestlers as well.
Can we just take a second? Taz with one Z. Can we just talk about how great that man was? Arguably the most underrated top guy ever.
He was.
Seriously.
He was.
Arguably because he created a belt whose legacy spans much farther than what it currently is doing, and I'm actually very disappointed in what they're doing with it, but that's just me. But for Jesse and for your borough and for your area of the country, it's probably sad because what that title, the FTW World title, meant at the time.
Oh, yeah. It was huge.
It shocked everyone because, again, the genius of Paul, who, by the way, I'm sorry, I love you, Bradley Cooper. You deserve an Oscar one day, but Paul Heyman got an Oscar on Friday. I don't give a damn what anybody says. That is, oh my God!
He is brilliant.
You want to believe in wrestling again? Just talk to Paul Heyman for 5 minutes.
He'll get you.
Oh my God!
He'll get you to believe.
But no, it's like, folks. Before we get into the rest of our New Year's resolutions in AEW, Jesse Hook. I mean, you said it. You literally just said it off mic.
Yeah.
Do not fuck this up.
He is
I don't care what that timestamp is. It's staying in.
5 seconds.
No, we're 5 minutes
Sorry,
in.
5
We're
minutes
all,
in.
Okay, perfect.
5 seconds in, you actually get the crunch of you talking as you introduce us. But
It's like, screw you, YouTube. We made it past 5 minutes. All right.
I think
My mom
I think
successfully.
I think you're allowed to say shit now in the first minute.
Okay, but
I think YouTube said
but
that.
remember, my mom successfully did not hear you say that word
Okay, perfect.
because it's more than 5
She
minutes.
doesn't go past
so,
it
yeah.
yet. No, she doesn't go past the first minute, folks.
Love you, mom. But, thank you for that first 5 minutes.
We gotta
But,
start putting more informative wrestling. in the
Right,
first
right,
minute,
right, right,
apparently.
right, right,
So,
right.
we gotta look into that.
so here's the thing with Hook, man.
Yeah.
He's already come off like an absolute superstar. His ability. By the way, he's supposed to be a heel, but he's so good at that. Crowd's like, yeah, no, we love him.
all the strange Twitter hype that he got
Right.
before the debut, it's all been justified.
And now I can see why people were really hyping him up.
Spades. I mean,
The training he must have been doing with. By the way, because he was working at the Nightmare Factory
Yeah.
for a while as
Yeah.
well. I think all that training
But
and then
just-
getting
but
a
just-
chance to work with those wrestlers on Dynamite.
but it's just like his dad. It's a look that no one else has.
Right.
He gets the weird like flick of the shoulder, the eyebrow just sort of
Yeah.
like shaking.
And
the
apparently
eyebrow.
he's much broader in person than
Yes.
what the camera puts
Yes.
on him.
I have heard that.
And I just saw a couple of highlights of a couple of throws that he did. I'm like, damn, that looks like his daddy. Oh my God!
Looks like his
phenomenal.
daddy mixed with a little
Phenomenal.
bit of what his daddy inspired, which is Brock Lesnar.
And I feel
Yes.
like Taz being the way that he is,
Mm-hmm.
if he sees that there's a ceiling in AEW, he'll tell him to go to NXT.
Oh.
He'll tell him to go to WWE.
Beyond the shadow
Because
of
the
a
fact
doubt.
of the matter is that I think that if you seriously ask Taz, much like every parent, Leroy, you can definitely attest
Yes.
to this.
Oh, yep.
You want better for your kids.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And I think Taz knows that he could have been a star in WWE. He just didn't fit WWE at the time. But I've always said Vince has always had the biggest footprint because of the giant Titan Towers,
Right.
production company.
Right.
But if Taz was on that channel at that time,
Yeah.
he would have been the biggest guy in the company.
I mean,
He was a little too injured when he got to WWE.
he was a
late
bit
there,
older at that point.
yeah.
But yeah, it's what I will give Hook is so far what we have not seen. Why I can't call him the perfect package yet?
Right, yeah.
It's because we haven't heard him speak yet.
I agree.
But maybe that might be for the best so far.
Oh, yeah.
Is you let Ricky Starks do it, who's phenomenal. You let his dad do it for
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Big Will Hobbs, who's gotten a lot better on the mic
Oh God.
in the last 6 months.
I never thought after hearing about his brother shielding him from
Right.
cancer, I never thought I could ever take him seriously as a heel. God, do I love big old Willie Hobbs.
Right. Well, and here's the crazy part to me, because you think of the whole Team Taz, infrastructure there that they have set, and I mean, think about it. One of the big stories outside of Hook is the fact that Brian hasn't been there,
Right.
and that absence is very huge to their crowd.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like,
yeah.
okay, this is clear. This is a guy who might not be coming back.
Right.
And
which
and
we'll
so
talk about
it feels
on the other side,
like maybe his debut probably wasn't supposed to happen when it happened.
Yeah.
But they had to do something to get the narrative off of the fact of the whole Brian Cage thing.
And I think-
Hook has been wonderful.
And I think, like we said, regardless of his age, regardless of what bad habits people think he might have on
Mm-hmm.
the indies, Brian can go to WWE, make a bunch of money in a short period of time, and do very well for
I
himself.
think he would do phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think he would be phenomenal.
And you've come around to that.
Right.
You really have.
Right.
Yeah, they'll use him because he has the look that Vince likes.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll be able to use him. They'll be able to use him as
He's a lot
heel.
shorter in person, but
Yes,
I think
he
people
is.
have to realize Rhea Ripley is not that tall of an individual. But
No.
again, the genius of camera work that Vince understands. You present them like a star.
I think she's about my height.
She's about five. I think she's like about 5'10".
Yeah,
I
the
think Rhea
camera
might be
angles.
5'10". But the thing is that Vince's camera angles, not Bucktooth McGee's switches, but it's just the way Vince makes you shoot somebody.
Right.
It's just Jesse, we never know what wrestlers truly look like.
Not unless you're there,
no, 100%.
She's billed at 5'7", so
Okay.
she is just hair taller than me.
Right, exactly.
And yeah,
but I mean, I've seen her live twice. You'd never know she was 5'7".
Right.
Like, I mean, it wouldn't make sense to say 5'7".
Only 25, still got a big bright future ahead of her.
You know, there's nothing wrong with see, this in my opinion is a lost art in wrestling. You bring someone up early, you give them a run early. Whether it's great or not, you don't know.
Right.
But it establishes this is somebody that is big.
Right.
And it plants the seed in your mind that at any point she could be the star.
Right.
It plants in your mind that when the 4 horsewomen are either all gone or when they're all sort of on the back 9 of their career, this girl is 25 years old, and in 5 years, at 30, could be an absolute icon of women's wrestling.
Right.
She truly could be, because she's already accomplished so much. She's got a great build.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is that, you know, it's just... again, they always say we don't know what it is.
Right.
She's got it. She's got it. But anyway, back to our friends at Spot Monkey. Folks, we talked about last week. Tony Khan had a little beef with some folks. I call them the whites of the white. Over there at Fox News.
The white sheet wearing whites.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
You
yes.
know what? You know what?
Wow,
You know what?
that's-
Fair. I'm
Really?
not even arguing.
Oh,
Not
Fox
even arguing.
News? Oh yeah, we're there now.
all right,
But
just
anyway,
checking.
Leroy.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, we've crossed that. We've crossed that bridge.
All right.
I am surprised you haven't heard, because Jim Cornette broke this on Brian's show, The Corny Drive-Thru. So-
well, I've been busy with family and work, so I haven't
That's
had a
fair.
chance to check out that yet.
But,
So.
okay, so you two don't
Please,
know.
please
don't know-
inform us,
I will do that.
our good friend.
So last week, Tony sent out some tweets saying that AEW, well, it's basically WWE Dynamite at this fucking point.
Right,
I mean,
right,
let's be
right,
honest here. Dynamite has beaten Fox News the last 6 weeks in ratings. Every show on Fox News. Tucker Carlson alone gets 3.5 million viewers a night.
Right.
Boys, 2 words, and it's a word that I hope we don't bring into 2022. They win the key demo. I'm not joking. Tony Khan tweeted out those charts that you had to look at using the, magnifying stuff on your phone.
Right.
You just scroll into the point where your phone was
Right.
like, I can't go any farther. Like, no, all it was key demo.
Right.
Okay, 2 words I want to leave in 2021. Here's a resolution.
Yes.
Nobody gives a shit other than a couple of AEW stands and our buddy Eric about the damn key demo. Eric, I love you, sir. No one cares about the key demo. I know it's an advertising thing, but Jesse, total matters.
But here's the thing, though.
And also, they're barely beating
Well,
WWE.
here's the thing about the key demo. You can't depend on that.
Uh-huh.
Because, ratings based off of key demos is what cable and regular television and satellite television, it's how they have it, like, referred to in their... who owns what's watching who owns what's watching that TV that at that time. Well, most people have a TV owned by someone older than 49. So a key demo doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
We've been trying.
my kids watch my TV.
Right.
Well, but they're not
And
18, so Tony doesn't care.
Well, they should, because I buy them shit.
Fair enough.
Well,
Because I am in
to
that
me,
demo.
that's a
no,
demo.
I'm over that demo.
Well,
We're all in that demo.
The only
No, I'm almost over that. I'm almost out of that demo.
The only problem I've ever had with WWE is they went too hard towards the demo that is your children. That was it. They went too hard trying to be like, we're super family friendly,
Which I understand.
and then they hurt their own storytelling
and
things of that
100%.
nature.
And when I say I understand,
But that demo matters more.
Yes.
Because you want them to grow up loving wrestling, and you want them to grow up, and if they have kids or whatever they do in life.
AEW has this strange idea that as soon as you turn 50, you can't like wrestling.
and then also makes it,
Which is crazy because Jim Cornette has said before, you go back to the old territory shows, there were grandmothers, there were grandfathers.
Right.
They brought their 8-year-olds to the
Right.
show, the grandkids. They brought everyone to the show. There used to be families used to have nights in these small towns in the South where the whole family got together and went to a wrestling show.
Right. Leroy, go ahead and finish your thought, brother.
I was gonna say, for me, it's like the demo's like, yeah, they're going after the kids, but the kids look at me and go, Dad, 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 I need that. As Eben said, when we go to that show in February, I'm going to get you autographs. He's like, am I going to get merch? Of course. Duh.
You can't go to a wrestling show and
No,
not
you
come home
can't.
with merch.
Well,
This is not how it works.
But speaking of the small shows and stuff up here,
Right.
back in the day, it's like my parents used to go see wrestling when it was here in Duluth at the old Deck Arena at the arena there before they became the Deck.
Right.
They used to go shows there all the time.
Yeah.
And watch, Bobby
because remember, Jesse,
Bobby Heenan when he was young.
Right,
in wrestling.
right.
Well, Jesse, we also have to remember you're a big music guy.
Yeah.
You're in the music industry.
Right.
People have to realize when you go down the list of bands that played the Deck Arena, people always get shocked by the fact that a band as big as Three Dog Night, wonderful, rock band from back in their day, why they would come here. But back then, Jesse, there weren't stadium shows.
No.
Arenas were what you played. Smaller arena shows.
Right.
It didn't matter the town.
Right.
Yeah.
You just played.
Right.
Kiss has been up here.
Kiss has been here a few times.
Well,
Right.
the Kiss was back here in their heyday.
Right.
The original lineup when
Right.
they were the rock band.
Right.
Shoot, Metallica
When
made
they
it up
say
here.
we were the hottest band in the when
Yeah,
they
but-
say the hottest band in the world, now it's kind of a tagline. At one point, they were the hottest thing in music.
Right.
And
Go ahead.
Metallica was here
Yeah.
in Duluth.
Yeah.
Which, people are like, Metallica made it to Duluth? Yeah. They
Well,
actually
I mean,
did.
now they play football stadiums with overwhelming sound that now you can't hear anything.
Well, but they've earned.
But back in the day,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, they've earned the right to fill those seats.
I
mean,
just
it's-
I don't care about them filling the seats. Just turn down the sound. But
fair
to now I sound like an old man. But
Well, I can't hear
when it comes to
anyways.
your music, Jesse,
After listening to
you're
all
an
that,
old
I can't
geezer
hear
when it comes to
anyways.
I do play a lot of heavy music, everyone.
You just lose your hearing.
I play it with two things of like covering my ears. I'm trying not to go deaf playing heavy music.
All right, yeah.
But the thing about the Key demo is, as you just spoke on, so I can relate this to our good friend Eric. We wouldn't help with the first DPW show.
We'll be back in a second.
Right. It was a blast. So fun.
By the way, boys, you're gonna have to get there as early as me now. We actually work for them.
March
Right.
March 27th, to be exact.
Which actually, I think I was there a little earlier than you that day.
No.
or about like 20 minutes after you.
No.
He beat us both
Eric
by like an hour,
Eric
I think.
was the first person to show up, and I beat him.
Oh, wow.
I beat him by 5
I'm pretty
minutes.
sure I was like there like 10:30 or something.
I was there like 9 a.m.
Okay. But yeah,
Because I had to run and get extension cords.
one of the biggest wrestlers there, and I was shocked because I only heard minuscule about him, was the Kyle, remember his last name? Kind of had the mask and stuff. And I was like, okay. I'm like,
Was that Kyle?
Kyle something.
Pro?
No.
And I can't. I'm so sorry that I can't remember your last name, sir. Because we deserve to promote you on this show.
Yes.
You were excellent.
Yes.
And I kept seeing the kids with
We
the
will figure
mask.
that out for our
Right.
Our first show. We'll write this down. We need to figure out from the lineup of DPW1 for our first show of 2022. We will definitely remind people.
Right. And so
Yes, we'll get
he
that.
had a really cool mask design that was a part of his entrance. But I didn't know that because I kept seeing the mask on all these kids.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, where are they
Because
getting
you had a
these
small
masks from?
merch table
Right.
off to the left.
Right.
And in Clyde, everything's kind of, shifts a certain
Right.
way.
And so
It's very dark in there.
It is really dark
But
in
the
there when you turn off the
industrial
lights.
feel is great for
Right.
wrestling,
Oh, for sure.
in my opinion.
And so when he comes out, and then I see all these kids, and I'm like, that's the demo that matters. Because I saw all these kids with the mask, and I barely knew who the wrestler was.
Right.
Well, now I know who he is because these kids know who he is, and
Yeah.
they love him.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm always like, another one of my personal favorites, as you guys know, we've gotten to see her a couple of times, is Miss Whippet herself.
Yes.
The recently engaged. Oh no,
Laney Luck.
Thank you. I am ashamed.
And she'll be there on the 12th.
She's going to be excellent when she's there on
Yes.
the 12th.
Yes.
Excellent every time
Oh,
I have
of
seen her.
course.
Oh
Just
my
keeps
God.
getting better.
Love you, Lane.
Every time.
Kids love her.
Oh, yeah.
They love the gimmick. They love the horse. They love the whip. All of it.
I'm going to correct you, and Clara could come and correct you on that.
Uh-oh.
It's not a horse.
Yes.
It's a unicorn.
Oh, is it a Fortnite unicorn?
It's a unicorn.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and Clara loves the pink unicorn.
I'm old now.
Man.
I'm getting to you.
I'm a dad. I got to know this because I have a little 6-year-old girl.
See,
It's important.
you're doing better than me.
If
Maybe
you
that's
if
right.
you have kids, you understand. You don't need to have them either.
I'm about to say we might be getting a little late on that.
Never say never, Jesse.
Even if financially I'm getting to a better place, we might be getting a little late.
Okay, I had when I was like 40.
Yeah, but you had a couple of sets of kids earlier as well.
I had her when I was 39. I'm going to be really old when she gets to 18.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you're already what?
Well, I know.
120?
Close to it.
Close to it? I thought I was older than that.
Do we ever actually keep track of that?
No. It changes every single week.
I don't think anyone's actually paid that much attention to how old.
But yeah, Lady Luck is huge with the youth. And it's actually kind of helped, I think, anytime I've gone and seen her work with either Ring of Honor women, Ohio Valley's kind of, different version of Ohio Valley Wrestling, and a couple other things where it seems like the younger people get the older people to kind of pay attention to her, and then us as older wrestling fans are like, oh, man, she's actually awesome. Yeah. I love her. She's great. So to me, worrying about the 18 to 49, like if you're so worried about the CM Punk crowd of the world, you're going to be
Kyle Roberts.
Thank you, Kyle Roberts. Thank you.
I think that's the right one. Look him up quick and make sure.
Kyle deserves a shout out because Kyle was awesome. By the way,
did a great job.
He was awesome.
Great guy too.
Yeah, he was really nice. Yeah. But it's one of those things I will never understand worrying about that demographic for advertising purposes. You want to know why?
And the worst part about it is he gave us false hope that maybe the world was stopping watching Fox News. We were that close. We were that close to being like, holy crap, Dynamite beats Fox News. There might be a chance, Jesse.
There might be hope. No, there's no hope.
No. The Whitey Whites are sticking around.
They'll still be watching Tucker.
Yep.
Who's a stupid mother? You know what?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, otherwise. To me, the key demo it doesn't matter. And here's why it also shouldn't matter to AEW. Because
it's the only thing they hold on to?
Because Cody Rhodes is so damn delusional, you might not have any fans by the time he's done.
Reports are, and we'll transition into it. Reports are, when the cameras went off, he told them to stop booing because the cameras were off.
Oh, my God, dude.
That was a report out of the show.
So, actually, I want to find out. So, please, before I continue on this, please speak on the actual match. What happened? Right. Why Cody's now such a big news story?
Cody, you can now call me Rhodes.
The first ever 3-time
TNA champion.
TBS champion.
TNT.
TBS.
They're keeping it TNT.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They should change it.
I know. No.
In a week,
the TBS title wrongly Jesse predicted may be going to our girl Ruby Soho, because Jesse wrongly reported or wrongly said that Ruby
predicted.
would lose to Nyla.
Yes,
Ruby
he did.
He
did predict that.
Back
yes.
to your studies, Jesse. Anyway,
yeah.
But no.
We got a week and 3 days, and they'll be on TBS.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. The final TNT show, which is Rampage,
right?
And the belt went back to Cody. Oh, by the way, can I also say this? We do need to transition.
Here it is. Hold on. Here it is.
Yeah, okay.
3 times.
Hold on. Those are really loud boos, by the way.
Those are real, too.
There's no WWE piped in on that one.
No.
Yeah, I might have to bring it closer to the mic if you want to hear the mic better.
Sorry. There we go.
Yeah, they're changing the scene.
I want to see if he said it because I'm about to go in if he did.
All right.
So we're not going to do this for so long, guys.
Yeah.
Something about that match has really got my heel hurting.
Gotta pause before we continue. Really?
Yeah.
Got my heel. Okay, we're going to go back before I snap.
Okay.
We're off the air right now. It's been a very long night. You guys have been exceptional. Let me ask you, did you guys have a good time tonight?
I don't know if anyone just heard that. A fan was like, until now.
If AEW came back to Greensboro.
But they don't care about him either.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm just an EVP. For that to happen, I think we need the head honcho.
And now I don't care.
Yeah.
Let me say this.
A blowhard's going to come
before
out.
Jesse goes in, I want to get this in because we're all going to get crazy on Cody here in a second, but it needs to be said. The greatest TNT champion of all time, reported as of last year on this day, AEW told us, John, we miss you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
God rest your soul, John Huber.
We love you, John.
And a very happy new year to your lovely family.
Right.
We are once again saddened that you're not there, but we appreciate everything that you were able to give us, sir. So thank you.
You just made me look like the worst asshole for what I'm about to do to Cody then.
No.
No.
Oh, no. I don't feel bad for what I'm about to do.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying I look like an asshole for what I'm about to do.
No, not really. Cody had done this to himself.
That's fair.
I no longer want to hear about WWE's Golden Shovel.
Now, to be fair, he did not say what I said they reported, but for the most part, it was not.
But here's the thing. AEW fans love to bring up the Golden Shovel. I mean, Cody has recently loved to bring up the Golden Shovel, right?
Triple H, despite being home with his lovely daughters,
by the way,
lives rent-free
that man just lives rent-free in you guys' heads.
Yep.
Great job.
Well, to be fair, 2002 Triple H lives in your head rent-free.
But I have scars. I have trauma from that time.
That's what she said, too.
That my childhood has never gotten over.
Yeah, Triple H is in their people's head rent-free. So is The Miz in some of the people's heads.
Oh, well,
That's
I
fun.
mean, that was...
Oh, Mike has found a way to put himself in every wrestler's head everywhere.
I can't believe he has, because I would have never thought of Mike as an insult, because I just don't care. And I like I tell people, it's not that I don't like The Miz. I've actually been blessed to meet Mike Mizanin in the past.
Yeah.
I think he's a very sweet human being. Character-wise, I've just never cared.
Understood.
I've just never cared.
Understood.
He's lost his fucking mind. This, and then, so I'm watching the end of the match, and I get the story that Cody is trying to tell.
Do you? Really?
It's a dumb story.
Fair enough.
It's a hurt Sammy story, even though he's not trying to. But the story is...
Quick. Jesse, for 5 seconds, talk about the highlights of Sammy's reign. Oh, wait, sorry, we're done. All right. Anyway.
He beat nobody.
Exactly.
He beat nobody.
He beat Fuego del Sol.
He beat Fuego. Well, no, I don't think he beat Fuego. But I think he beat Ethan Page.
Yeah.
I think he beat Miro for the title.
To be fair, Ethan Page, I swear to God, if WWE gave you a call for anything, you should have gone there. Because, this is a joke.
By the way, I mean, great job, Scorpio. Great job, buddy.
Your backstage stuff, Jesse's happy about. Your on-stage stuff, Jesse would rather you forget
I like to celebrate young black talent,
sucks.
but you're never, ever going to be world champion in that
What's there
company.
to celebrate on air for Scorpio Sky?
Nothing.
He worked with a bunch of shoot fighters who, let's be honest, had one of the worst street fights I've ever seen. And I've seen some bad street fights.
Because one of them went out there and forgot you're supposed to sell and be a part of the wrestling business.
Because he was enjoying it, being a fan. I'm like, great.
Yeah, he just wanted to be a fan out there. Like, oh, God, this is not going well.
It's only pay-per-view.
Most people only paid $50+ I did not.
I did not pay the $50.
I found a sucker who did and then watched it.
I've only been involved in one wrestling shoot, and I did better than him.
True.
And I took a shot to the nuts.
Yeah.
You did.
I don't even know anything. And
great for your future, Scorpio.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So the story is that he's such an experienced part of the TNT title picture that he was able to overcome Sammy. You want to know why this hurts and buries Sammy a little bit? Because Sammy's already overcome some of the best that they have to offer to get to that title.
Yeah.
So what was the point?
The run to the TNT title was not arguably, it was better than the reign.
Yes.
I hate to say it, the only thing that people can tell me about his reign was him wrestling with anal.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not talking about crotch rod.
Right.
Close enough. Anyway.
Close enough.
Well, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
You know
what does Cody?
God's favorite venereal disease.
I'm trying to understand.
Sorry, Leroy.
Like I'm trying to.
It's all right.
I'm trying to understand.
They get pills.
wrestling logic through the mind. Like it's been hard for me to understand it through the mind of 60-year-old guys who should have retired years ago. It's really hard because Cody's my age.
So what you're telling me
should know better.
So what you're telling me is funky Love Roads. That should be the new stable in WWE.
You know what?
The Funky Love Roads.
You know what? If
I'm sorry, Dusty. Please rest in peace.
If
Dusty Rhodes is gonna bionic elbow me as soon as I get in hell.
Well, number one, I hope he drops
might.
the last name again. Because,
oh God,
damn, what a disservice to your dad and your brother.
No, he can't because the lovely people of Atlanta will not have that wonderful baby to fawn over.
Oh, the only interracial child.
Just the first. We don't know who's been born since this baby.
Oh my God.
We don't have those reports. The CDC has not gotten back to me on those reports.
The CDs. Why are we going to have the disease?
They're the only ones reporting anything these days.
Oh, okay. All right.
I need the FBI to go see if maybe this man has an alien in this basement. Because that's the only logical explanation for this insanity.
We don't have to send the FBI. We'll send Jesse the Body Ventura.
You know,
that might actually work.
He finds a conspiracy, so he might be able to find that alien.
No,
and the best alien hunter right now apparently is Demi Lovato. So that's a show.
There we go. All right, we'll put him and her and Demi.
I don't like
Demi Lovato and
they. We are fair on the show. Demi Lovato is going by they.
Is she? Oh,
I just want to be clear.
Well,
I did not know that.
They need to go see a therapist soon.
Anyway,
are we referring to? Well, yeah, I know all of them. Yes, I agree.
All of them.
All of them.
You know, if
as a matter of fact, if they would like to come and sit on the show, I guess I can pay for their tickets, and we'll have to get them a couple of mics.
We'll also have to hire private security.
And no, for people
so drain the budget because we're going to need private security so Jesse doesn't kill Bruce.
And oh no, I'm talking about the one because that 6-year-old piece of shit's not showing up here.
That's fair.
Dude, I'm sorry. I will send an invitation to Brother Love. Do you think he's gonna show up here?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
Apparently, people who we know have told him about me. He's not showing up here.
Maybe if I prompt him with bait goods,
you would basically have to promise him. Yeah, that guy's not going to be here. And then maybe he'll come talk to you guys.
And then you show up and I'm like, oh, sorry, he's here.
Cody's lost his fucking mind. And there's no way out of this.
Past the sever-head cookie.
He's yeah, right. He's now in everyone hates Roman / John Cena territory. But in this case, he's earned it.
Fantastic, by the way. Tell your daughter, wonderful baking.
Oh, is it? I'm gonna have to get a piece of the cookie here.
Save me a little bit too.
You know what? Arnold. I disagree. This is a good time to not put the cookie down. Mm-hmm. Please, somebody take this away.
Well, I just think
AEW
if they were gonna have Sammy lose the title, you could bring Russo back. And he could take the title from him.
Well, to be fair, we think
that
Russo's booking, but I think you mean Miro.
Or Miro, whatever the fuck.
We think Russo's actually somehow booking this.
Yes, but Miro, I mean...
from a distance. In his home.
Sorry, I'm so used...
In Utah.
With anal.
No.
No anal.
Anal's with Miro, Russo's in Utah with Devotion Pro Wrestling.
Okay, there we go.
Whose first ever match was a Samoan death match with 2 girls, and they had blow-up alligators. Moving on.
Wow. If him coming back to get the title...
I'm not joking. That was an actual...
That probably would have... Yeah, it doesn't surprise
Leroy,
me.
go ahead, finish it. I'm not going to say anything.
But,
I almost wanted to puke.
I know.
But for him coming
it's a
back...
Good cookie. Don't puke it up.
It's a great cookie.
Yeah, for him coming back and getting the title from... That would be okay. But...
He's too busy fighting God.
Well...
People gave Vince shit for the Shawn Michaels thing. What the hell's Miro doing?
I don't know. He's going to lose.
He's fighting God, apparently, because God is forsaken. I don't...
The only thing I think of is...
I literally see the light appear over Miro for his promo. I fast forward. I can't. I mute the television just for the love of God.
I just think Cody is like stroking his own ego, and he thinks it's the best thing for the company.
I'm surprised
for him
Cody
to have
and
the
Bucks,
title go on TBS.
Right.
No,
right.
It's not.
When Adam Cole goes and works with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and they kick the heads off the Bucks, Cody should be the new leader of the Superclick, because they're all delusional as hell, and apparently all made this company to get what they think they've rightfully deserved. Which apparently to Cody is mid-card success, but anyway.
Right!
The greatest mid-carder of all time.
Like, what are you doing? You didn't have to take this off of this kid. Just turn heel. That's what they want to see anyway. Lose, turn heel, beat the crap out of them.
To be fair, I think they want to see Brandy tarred and feathered first. And that's not me trying to get Rachel. That's what they want.
To be fair to her?
Yes.
To be fair to her?
She actually wants to go heel?
She actually is probably going to go heel.
Yeah, exactly.
And in her comeback so far, she's been very smart about not saying all the bullshit she said on that show.
Yes.
So, like, she's been very smart about that.
She couldn't come back as a baby face.
They don't want her to.
Well,
they don't want her to come back.
She has been back as a baby face, but, like, she takes the booze as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
She's at, like I
at least
unlike most of their fans, I actually watch Dark.
At least Stephanie screwed with the fans when they would chant CM Punk back when she was the authority figure. The whole line about how long he lasted in his first UFC fight. Like, I mean, Stephanie, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
You have your daddy's inkling for this. You really do.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't understand how a young man can have that lineage, especially as a booker.
Yes.
And this is the result right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's... And by the way,
hold on a
this
second.
ain't even the worst thing in AEW.
No, it's not. No, the worst thing in AEW is that, wait, everything in AEW is canon, correct? Am I correct? Malachi Black has the eye issue due to the due to the thing with Seth. Am I correct?
Right.
Okay. Are we just gonna fucking ignore the fact that Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole just tried to kill each other 3 times in NXT?
Actually, they actually did a thing when he showed up.
Oh, good God.
That they actually weren't completely on this. I mean, the still is all 3 of them standing side by side.
Yeah.
But they actually argued with each other and looked like they were going to come to blows before Bobby kind of broke it up. So
let me get this straight.
They're actually still playing that canon.
Okay, that's fair. But let me get
to
this
be fair to them.
No, that's fair. But like the fact is, Jesse, I hate to say it. As much as I love Kyle, and as much as I love Johnny Gargano, and everyone's reporting that, I mean, he's strongly considering it, they're not going to turn no tide. In 2022, I'm sorry, your big grabs to compete with the monster that is Vince is Johnny Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly. Love them both. Not going to deny that. But come on, guys. There's no one left in wrestling. The only person left would have been Brock, and there ain't no way Brock's walking away.
Well, no.
You think Brock's going to go down there and work with the unprofessionalism that goes on down there?
How long?
Are you kidding me?
Was it a week or 2 weeks since Kyle was not on NXT that he's now in AEW?
A week.
A week?
Well, but to be fair, Jesse said he probably signed the contract Sunday night.
He probably signed the contract the day after.
And because it's Adam Cole and Bobby Fish, they probably sat there because they worked with Triple H and were like, well, let's find a moment to do it instead of just saying, oh, he's all elite.
Right.
Like, basically the Adam Cole thing was spoiled on pay-per-view,
right.
but the problem is we all know as soon as they did Bryan Danielson, they had to do Adam Cole. They had to. You couldn't. Adam Cole would have meant nothing the next Wednesday if Bryan Danielson comes out that Sunday.
Listen, it's messed up. See, we were talking about it first. We were talking about the Cody Rhodes thing, and I said that's not the worst thing. And then, you brought up the Adam Cole thing. And like I said, to be fair, the only reason I'm going to have to disagree with you is because at least Adam Cole is smart. It seems to have learned a lot from Triple H and is trying to actually still play into the story that they set up.
But
on
again,
NXT.
going back to my point that everything's canon, Jesse, it's the same thing with Miro. It's going to take a year before I care about Adam Cole the way I did in NXT because for 6 weeks he's been a lackey. For the Bucks!
Well, yeah.
The hottest guy in professional wrestling over the last 5 years. The best title run in the best, hottest company 5 years running. Obviously 2.0 is really catching steam, actually.
It is starting to catch steam.
People are starting to realize, oh, my God, there's stuff down there. And they're listening to you about booking.
Yes, they are.
Because, my God, we'll get to that in a little bit here before we get to day one because they have created a hate for a man. And he may never get that off. But we'll right. But it's just, no.
That's some good stink on him, yes.
but no, it's just, Jesse, it's going to be the same thing. Why does a guy have to come in and do stupid shit before we... Why? I've been asking this question all the time. Why is it AEW's thing that they have to do stupid bullshit?
I don't disagree.
For 2 to 3 months before I'm supposed to give a shit about you. And by the way... I'm actually not even joking, and I'm being 100% serious. Because we all now hate the first run by Cody Rhodes because of what, we look back on it as.
Yeah.
But I want to point something out. The greatest TNT champion, it's not even really a tagline for his son. It was John Hubbard.
It was.
John Huber, I apologize.
Yeah.
It was Mr. Brody Lee.
It was.
Because that title has been goddamn irrelevant from the moment Cody got it back.
Yeah.
The second time.
Yeah. Which now we understand why he did, of course, because of what, the eventual, passing of
Right,
Mr.
yeah,
Huber,
but my whole point about it is just, folks.
By the way, I'm never this quiet. I am at a loss because I don't disagree about the Adam Cole thing. I don't. But there's a certain almost 42-year-old man who decided to wear makeup. And I'm getting real sick of this motherfucker.
Oh, boy.
I'm getting sick of his fans.
By the way, we're shut down by other Chicago fans in WWE. You mentioned that on our show,
Yes, I
Jesse.
did.
They were actually shut up by other fans
Yes,
who
they
were
were.
like, no, I'm actually here for the show.
Right.
Shut your mouths
I-
and go. It's
I-
like the sign guy, who, by the way, the sign guy in AEW, I don't give a damn what anybody said. I don't give a damn about past thing. You should have been kicked out, and you should be banned from an AEW.
Here's my problem with
I
it.
totally agree with that.
You should have been caught before. How does no one see that sign?
Thank you.
How does...
They're brain dead.
Listen, and I get there's not as many signs at WWE shows anymore. You want to know why? And yes, it's made it a little less fun, which is probably why a lot less fans started showing up. But
Yeah.
because the security is kind of stifling because they don't want to see anything offensive.
I didn't say this about my time at Raw, and while I don't agree with it, I get it. You weren't allowed to stand up during the match at Raw.
Okay.
And security was very tight about that. But as soon as the bell rang, you could stand up and do whatever you wanted. But the fact of the matter is that, okay, you are being rented not only by the arena, but by... Because again, Jesse, people don't realize, when WWE gets, is in town,
Yeah.
they technically have a contract that states they own the building for that night.
Right.
Everything within those walls belongs to them.
Right.
That's actually technically part of their contract.
It's a part of their insurance as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that, no, Jesse's got a point. That match didn't open the show. Nyla Rose versus Ruby Soho.
No.
It didn't open the show. So,
Talk about someone who deserves better. Nyla, I'm just saying, you're only 26.
I don't know if WWE would do it just because of the possible backlash
I
of
would,
cancel culture.
I would rather an agent go and talk to Sean because of what Sean's doing with NXT right now, and then see if she wants to give that a run.
Yeah,
because I think she would fit very, very well down there with NXT 2.0.
And I think what we've noticed is that despite a couple of issues with Britt Baker early on, she's not that dangerous of a worker.
She's very good now. She does that damn top rope knee onto someone and barely hits the back, but it looks so good.
Yeah.
Like she's gotten very, very good.
She was very green and probably shouldn't have been doing that spot early on with Britt Baker.
Right.
Because again, we love Britt, but she is not exactly the biggest girl.
She's a little fragile.
Yeah.
And I love Britt.
Yeah.
Britt's excellent.
We all do.
Has made herself excellent.
She's going to lose the title in Pittsburgh.
She's going to lose it to fucking Rio, but she's been excellent.
Yes. I was going to say to Brandy, but you know what?
It's going to be Rio.
Yep, exactly.
It's going to be Rio.
Yep. But anyway, no, Jesse. Once again.
So enjoy that title run for another week and a half.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be over.
But no. You
well,
deserve to be.
I'll mark that down.
You deserve to be
Like,
kicked
it's
out
gonna
of an
happen.
arena. You don't deserve to ever go to a wrestling event again. I don't give a damn if you're a fan. Come on.
Totally
really?
agree. Totally agree
Come
with
on.
that.
And by the way, Jesse,
Completely stupid.
the fans of that company are supposed to be the ones that,
The
are
smart ones?
quote unquote woke. They're supposed to be
Right.
the ones that are supposed to be up
Right.
on the modern stuff.
Right.
WWE's supposed to be the dinosaur in this situation.
Right.
But no. Nyla did exactly what Nyla should have done. Flipped him the bird. Security got his ass out,
Right.
and it's like, no, bro, like just screw you. But no. Yes, there is a 42-year-old man whose fans are getting annoying, and they don't realize that they're part
CM
of the
Punk
problem.
is trash.
There you go.
The story is trash. Go ahead, Leroy, before I snap off.
I heard he wore face paint. Then I saw the picture.
Don't do tributes to Sting.
No.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't.
He looked stupid.
Sting is great.
Yeah.
Let Sting be Sting.
He looked stupid.
Let Sting do the face paint. Steve has been great at it for over 35 years now.
And Darby's not bad.
And Darby's great.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't fit you.
If he would have done like the old classic where if he would have done like part of the face,
he tried to
that
do
would
the
have been
thing. And
it looked like a bad version of the Ultimate Warrior.
You want to talk about something that looked corny and looked like Bruce Pritchard was.
It was also it just felt patronizing.
Yeah,
it looked like it looked like a bad Ultimate Warrior. If he would have just painted over
to be
half
fair,
of his
at
face,
42,
one
he's starting
eye.
to feel like a bad Ultimate Warrior.
Okay,
so maybe the face paint works because I am sick of this fucking clown. And in his interviews, because he's always got to take a shot at his former company. You are the biggest clown in pro wrestling, CM Punk. Congratulations.
You did it the first night. No one denied you should have because that was your shtick for 7 years.
Yeah.
That was your shtick for 7 years.
Somebody's supposed to give the people of Chicago some hope. I mean, the Bears stink. I mean, the Bulls are decent, but they might get bounced in the playoffs.
Regardless of what anyone likes or dislikes about
Mustafa Ali can't get a push.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to rely on CM Punk's punk ass.
Regardless of what people want to believe or not, Colin Cowherd was right. Chicago, stop glorifying the 85 Bears. It's been 30 years.
That's all they got.
CM Punk is patronizing to me, and I got to be honest. So they're supposed to be. It looks like, and it hasn't been announced.
Not to mention that if there's any guy in wrestling who's probably not going to care if you patronize him, it's the guy who we've established as great as his legacy is. He never gave a damn about wrestling, which was Sting.
Yeah.
Nothing against Sting. Sting probably knows more about backstage wrestling than I'll ever be.
Right.
Glorified enough to know. But folks, it's been proven. He just learned better than the Ultimate Warrior on how to do it. And by the way, he was carried by some of the Hall of Fame greats of this business.
That does help a lot.
Admit that.
Listen.
He wanted the Undertaker match because he thought it would look great. But everyone knew that there was nothing that was going to make sense at that point in their careers.
It's just one of those weird things when it comes to Sting. If Sting wants to do a tribute to you, or why don't you do this? Come out with do something on your gloves. The hand brace. Fine. But the face it felt so patronizing, and then I'm almost rooting for MJF for once. Because I am so fucking tired of Phillip Brooks. I so wish he would have stayed retired. That's where I am with him, because it's just.
I hate to say it, the mystique of you walking away from the company up north, it's gone.
We had one great night. On one of the first rampages, and it was great. You had two good feuds, but they were short, and now I don't give a shit, because now we see what happens when people aren't in charge of your stories.
And by the way,
and I get that those two 6-year-old guys are a pain in the ass, and should not be in pro wrestling anymore, except to sign interviews or sign autographs. But
to the 5 people that actually want them,
right,
and they're all in Japan.
I mean, and then there's also Cal. We love you, Cal.
Yeah.
Well, he likes to collect his autographs.
Does, yeah.
But here's the thing,
I don't blame him.
CM Punk, by the way, I thought the story was he's just trying to get back into form because he's been out of wrestling for 7 years.
Oh, wait, hold on.
And then he goes into
Hold
a match
on.
and just
Hold
dominates.
on. Wait a second, Jesse. This is, I hate to say it, this is the Ruby Soho booking.
Oh,
for
okay.
MJF. He's screwed. If you beat Punk, now Punk's fire is dead. Mm-hmm. But if Punk beats you, you're once again beating the hottest heel you've got. Jesse, this is a literal lose-lose for AEW, and they don't get that. This is the thing that
they don't care.
This is the thing that going into 2022.
That's yeah.
In 2022, you got to start caring about the fact that guess what? WWE, yes, SmackDown is, first of all, to me, it's great up and down. But let's be honest, the only thing that would have fit in any territory at any time is whatever Roman does. So
yeah,
that stuff's been phenomenal.
But my point is this, Jesse. It's arguably 15 minutes of real classic wrestling is whatever Roman does. But yeah, SmackDown can be... Again, the brilliance of Vince is this. The show flows. AEW is literally segment to segment to segment, and then
frantic.
boom, we don't care because even the commentators don't do callbacks, except for like 5 goddamn seconds.
Right.
The fact is that it still feels like there's 5 people booking this damn show.
Right.
It still feels like it. The only guy that's got nothing on him is Bryan Danielson, because I'm pretty sure Bryan's in charge of whatever.
Well, he probably does whatever the hell he wants to do. But here's...
hold on a second. Time out. Not just Daniel Bryan, but you're going to tell the American Dragon Bryan Danielson what to do? Are you high?
Absolutely
well,
not.
You're on Adderall, so I mean, that's kind of out there anyway. But I mean, come on. Are you come on? You really think, people out there, that Bryan Danielson is working for Tony? Tony Khan is doing whatever he can to keep the American Dragon.
What the CM Punk MJF thing has, for me personally, what it has told me is 2 things. One, MJF is, bless you, MJF is not long to stay in your company. That's
God,
one.
no.
And then number 2,
he brings this tape to Vince. Vince is going to give him 7 figures out the ass.
He's going to get $2 million before Tony Khan gets to 1.5, and then MJF's going to be like, fuck it, I'm gone.
Which, by the way,
at that point, he might also have his other former buddies from MLW. So,
and can I also point something out here, Jesse? It's interesting. It actually is a good segue. Reportedly, Zayn is now re-signed.
Yeah.
Sammy, we don't know any figures, but Sammy's back. So Jesse, I want to go back, because yes, this show is about going forward into 2022, but we have to go back to go forward. You lost out on arguably 2 of the biggest indie guys possible. They're staying with the big company,
yes,
Jesse.
Yes, they are.
How do you... I'm sorry, if there was any 2 guys in this world that I thought were guaranteed to go to AEW at some point, other than the EVPs who started it, it would have been Steen and Generico.
And people remember, Kenny was a wishy-washy for a while there, because he seriously considered that WWE contract he was given. Because he knew.
Is it me?
Shit.
Is it me, or do you think just because of the success that Gato gave him and because of the internet buzz, Kenny would have come in, and yes, he would have had so many bad habits they would have had to work out in the Performance Center, but Jesse, Vince would have said, screw it, you're going to make me $1 million in merch sales with the WWE logo on the back of the shirt. Go do your stupid shit, and I won't, because again, Vince is an entertainment guy. He's not a wrestling guy.
Well, and here's also the other thing. How many people, especially if, before they started this company, were like, man, I want to see Kenny and Seth. I want to see Kenny and Seth. I want to see Kenny and Seth. That's why they were going to offer that man all that money, because he probably understood, I can pay him $2 million, and maybe by 2023 I'm going to let him go be with his friends. But I'm going to make $20 million. Just from probably 4 or 5 feuds I can get out of him.
And what's even more interesting is it's interesting. I think that Kenny would have probably stayed, and here's why I say that. He would have realized, oh, wait a minute, they're actually okay with me doing all the shit that I get away with, because it's actually making them money. Yep. It's a business.
Right.
If you make Vince $20 million, Vince is gonna throw 3 of that back at you. He ain't gonna care.
You might get one small bitch, and then he moves on.
Yeah.
Certain guys, when they're at a certain level and they're making a certain amount of money,
it's like if he worked with you, he'd fire you every week, but you'd be back by Raw.
I'll be back.
You'd be back by Sunday.
By Sunday at Tuesday, but damn it, Jesse. Yeah, I know. I'll be there.
Come on back.
It's only our 6th phone call.
You fire me every damn Friday night, so here we go
do.
again.
Yeah. You don't even wait for the compete clause. You're just like, you're going to hire me back in 48 hours.
I'm like, well, technically, the compete clause doesn't even matter, or in this case, the employment contract wouldn't even matter, because it's not even 48 hours. I'm back with the company, so was I ever fired? But here's the thing, man. It's so heartbreaking to see people defend CM Punk just because they loved what he used to be.
Thank you.
That to me is heartbreaking, because like I said, I could look at The Undertaker 4 or 5 years ago and go, yeah, the Brock one wasn't the right call, but Bray was, because that's when it started to dip in the ring for him.
Yeah. Like,
that would have been the better call. If you weren't going to do Roman, Bray was the better call at that point. Like, I was honest about it, and I love The Undertaker.
Yes.
It's just, it's always sad when wrestling fans over-defend something. And I get it. It's a subjective art at times, but it's just, there's just certain things that aren't defensible. And to me, the most objective thing I can say about CM Punk is if you didn't agree with the argument that Adam Cole's arrival has been wishy-washy, it's hard. It is hard. It's hard for you to come up with an argument that CM Punk's hasn't been bad since the feud.
Oh, it's
Darby
easy,
Allin.
Jesse, because remember, as I've said, these people will not take... Folks, even Elton John took off the rose-colored glasses 25-some years ago. Okay?
Yeah, you got to.
And you look good in him.
Yeah.
He was the Rocket Man, baby. Rocket Man.
Leroy.
It's a great movie.
Careful. Copyright. Leroy.
Good point.
Leroy, I don't
No,
wanna...
there's no music, so we can do that.
Well,
Okay.
no,
Yeah, no.
actually, Shannon Sharp learned that the hard way. We'll get back to that later.
Oh.
But anyway, no, Leroy, you're going to hate this. But anyway, I'm at work the other day.
Okay,
right?
I hate you.
Fair. That is totally fair. But no, I'm at work the other day, and, and this young lady comes in, and she's wearing what I would describe as an 80s look. She had, the big round glasses, the sort of, baggy pants.
Did she have bangs that could stop a small butt? Oh,
No,
really?
No,
Oh, okay.
No,
All
but
right.
anyway, I'm like, she got the John Lennon glasses. One of my coworkers goes, "Who's that?"
Oh my God.
I'm like, "Oh my God!" And Jesse, it got worse.
that
I'm
happened.
listening.
That happens to me every day at work.
Hold on, Leroy. No. Jesse's about.
People
to
don't
cry.
know anything.
Hold on, Jesse's about to cry. Jesse, I asked her,
I get tissue.
"Who's your favorite band?" And she looks at me and goes, "Well, right now I'm really into this new band that I found called Marianas Trench." And I'm like, "I'm older than this band."
Yeah.
I'm the youngest guy on the show, not by much, but I'm the youngest guy on the show. I'm older than that, and I love Marianas, by the way.
Yeah.
I love my boys in there, man. But I felt so old. Anyway,
Shit, I feel old.
yeah. But anyway, no, Jesse. He's a nostalgia act. He doesn't want to admit it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to look at it with the rose-colored glasses.
And he's going to get a world title shot.
Yeah.
Well, of course. He's going to get one. Daniel Bryan's going to get one.
Something else
You
I
know.
want to leave in
No, wait a minute. He is
2021.
getting that.
What, Bryan Danielson ties? That would be nice.
No, there's that. Here's the deal.
When you don't want to pull the trigger, but, telling Bryan Danielson you're going to lose to someone seems like a stupid thing with your company to do.
Yeah.
Like you say, Brian.
But no.
Actually finish. That's
But no.
a good thing to do.
By the way, also, try to kill the momentum of a champion that he just got to be champion.
Jesse, the momentum died when he took the horse ride in the sunset. Sorry, it did. But no.
That didn't bother me.
Another thing. No, I'm not saying it bothered me, but that's when it ended. Another thing I want to leave in 2021 is these people sitting there saying that no, AEW's the best thing going. You hate Vince.
Right.
And the sad part about it is the last half of 2021 actually proved he actually is not the problem.
No.
It doesn't. He's the problem because he has final say.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
The problem at Apple was not Steve Jobs because without him, the ideas would have never happened. Engineers are brilliant. They didn't come up with those ideas.
Right.
The engineers might have built it, and everyone's like, why don't they get love? Because they're not the idea guy.
I mean, there was a couple of main idea guys that we learned about later that Steve should have gave some damn credit to.
Oh,
but,
no. I totally agree.
But I get the analogy.
That's the analogy. But no,
yeah.
the last half of 2021 has vindicated Vince McMahon in ways no one thought it would. Rotunda was not mad at Vince.
No.
Adam had a wonderful conversation with Vince. They just
Right.
Adam wanted to do something else with his life, which more power to you.
Right.
And on your personal life, your professional life, you don't deserve the baby right now. But
Yep.
then Cody had a baby. Anyway,
The only interracial baby.
yeah. The first one. Not the only, the first. Let's
The
be
first.
fair. We don't have the
first.
numbers in front of us. But anyway, Jesse.
We're also talking to CDC
Jesse,
about that
Jesse,
one.
you've had to say to
No
this old
comment.
man, you've had to apologize to Vince a lot this year. He frustrates you to no end.
Right.
But you've had to apologize
Right.
for stuff that, oh my God, Vince got Paul White paid.
Right.
He got Mark Henry paid.
Right.
He got Christian paid.
Yes, he did.
Jesse, Vince is coming off as the, mob boss who actually cares about everybody in this whole thing. Am I wrong?
Well, I know some people are really upset, because of all the firings and then his joke, which, by the way, like, yes, is it easy to call them tone deaf at times? Sure, but I'm pretty sure Vince didn't write anything that he sat down and did with Austin Theory on Raw. I'm pretty sure that's just a 70-year-old man going, I mean, listen, I've done this business for a long time. We're just going to go. Yeah. Okay, when the lights go, we're just going to go.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, I can barely understand this motherfucker half the time anymore. It's not good.
It's not getting great on TV. Maybe Austin Theory should get the heat that Grayson Waller has and end Vince on television.
Right. Because
without the car bomb.
I have to listen to this man. And he's just
without the car bomb. We'll just skip the car bomb this time.
But I know it's like them people getting mad because he said this. Okay, it was a character on a show. It was a character on the show. And can I say that again? It was a character on the show.
And I get the upsetness of why, and I get
it's stupid.
And to circle back, the worst part about Punk is, Jesse, the one thing that we have to give him is that his promos always come off like it's him saying it. But that's the problem. It proves that you're just a bitter old bitch at this point.
Dude,
And I'm sorry, Phil. I'll talk to you anytime, but that's what you are.
Dude, him.
You are bitter old dude at this point who doesn't understand that, you know what? You had to do a job for 6 goddamn months before they put you back in the picture?
Right.
This is the FTR conversation we've had for the last month.
Right.
Boys, you should have stayed where you were.
Right.
Because at this point, you might be challenging for the 11-time tag team title reign. You had to do one itching powder segment. And, like Jesse said, so WWE wanted you to get a little funny for the kids for one freaking week. Like, it didn't lead to a grudge match with the Usos.
Right.
The Usos are one of the most successful tag teams of
this century.
Of all time. Not just this century, but all time. Because they just went along with whatever the fuck they were given.
Right.
And it's not like we don't take them seriously as a tag team.
Right.
Well, the New Day did the same thing.
Right.
I mean,
no, I think New Day was just Jesse. Not saying Vince has a problem with the way they look, but I think Vince just had no idea what to do, and they already made all the commercials. They were like, "Go do something," and boy, did it just take off.
It just took off, yeah.
Which is the only reason I've ever been upset at the releasing of Tommy End, because I'm like, wait a minute, let that shit play out.
I agree.
It reminded me a lot of the New Day thing because they spent all that money on like the backstage segments and everything. And so when they finally did the debut, people were like,
I'm sorry, what?
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 People forget, like, they were supposed to be this big babyface trio, but they were booed.
Yeah.
Because no one understood what was happening.
But they ran with it, and it worked.
And then eventually they naturally turned back face.
Oh, they can't go heel ever again.
Never again.
No.
Never.
But here...
And it shows how much my kids, to this day, still, when they hear that music, they're both dancing. Or if they hear Big E intro, Eben goes with it.
Right.
It's just, that big.
Y'all want to go big? Then say that.
Like I said,
Yeah,
that was...
When I first heard that, when he got moved, the first time I heard that, I was actually with Corey Graves. I was like, oh, it's been so long. It's been so long. I loved it. It was great. But no. So New Year's resolution, AEW, as you now move to where you rightfully deserve, the comedy network of the Turner Broadcasting Networks. Shut the hell up. Please, I'm sorry, Jesse. Leroy, would you please?
AEW, shut the fuck up.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, no,
we gotta get that copyrighted.
There we go. Leave everything you've done for the 4 years on TNT on TNT.
And actually, start wrestling?
Well, they can't. They're on the Comedy Network now. No one gives a shit.
See, here's the thing.
I see. I'm hoping they go do wrestling.
They already wrestle on the show. They actually, that is the one thing where I give them credit.
Well, that's where me and Jesse have been complimentary the last 2 months, is that, wait a sec. As you guys are now going to a new network, not to interrupt you there, Leroy, but as you guys are transitioning to a new era, now you want to go back to the shit we used to criticize you for when you were so good. But this is what they did to me when you and I had the arguments back then. They gave me 2 months of hope, and then it all went to shit. They did it again. Every year you got to give me 2 months of great shit, and then we got to read your rankings, and Jesse's got to get depressed all over again.
I don't even want to look at the rankings again. Go ahead, Leroy.
How about give us more good wrestling?
Because Leroy, I'll be honest.
Screw it.
We
Go
can
get Alexander Hammerstone. Enough. Court Bauer ain't got that kind of money.
Damn, you
No,
know
he
what?
don't.
You dropped such a bomb that the bomb dropped in here.
I know.
Here's the thing.
And it was still more of an impact than Cody's title win.
Yes.
Oh, he had impact. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
I just. By the way, speaking of impact, he actually did a better job in impact. But I digress.
Impact's been doing a better job than AEW.
They've been doing pretty
Man,
good,
Scott's just really good at what he does.
Scott is.
Yes.
Scott is just really, really good.
Can I
at
also
what
point
he
something
does.
out? In 2021, something that I have watched this thing. I watched this thing on the month because it was just so good.
Yeah.
Jesse, Scott, not Tony, Anthony, you hold on a sec. You were Booker of the Year, but Scott D'Amore got the king on his show.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I just want to point that.
Yes, he does.
I just want Mike. I don't want to break your mics. But
Mic
there
drop.
you go. The king was on that show,
Yes, he was.
not the big show.
Right.
So sorry, no more BS. I'm sorry. But you seriously,
Yeah,
this company was created to take shots at Vince. That's the only reason it was created.
It feels like
From
that,
the
doesn't
moment
it?
they had their first pay-per-view, it's just been a shot at Vince. But hold on, wait.
The only thing it took for fucking Brian to go heel was mentioning the fact that he won at WrestleMania. I'm like, but wait a minute, you're booing the biggest wrestling show of all time.
Which, by the way, was a great match.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, by the way, it's a company where it's like, we'll just let your contracts run out, but you don't see when you're top heavy, and the only reason you've cut any wrestlers was because they had so much issue with sexual misconduct that you pretty much had no goddamn choice.
Right.
I'm talking about Joey Ryan because yes, he was all elite.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Ryan
he
was all
was.
elite. Don't give me that bullshit.
He was. They signed him.
And then you got rid of Jimmy Havoc.
Yep.
You got rid of Jimmy Havoc, which you should have. Kip Sabian should have gone with him, but you should have.
Well,
But the fact is that the only way you've gotten rid of WWE's cut people because they've been bad in the locker room. You don't cut anybody unless there is an overwhelming, damning evidence that you have no choice. And again, Bucks, you can go back and have your little team of editors edit every BTE you've ever done. There's 500 some episodes at this point?
Yeah,
it's a lot of
like that.
episodes.
It's a lot.
You can edit it all you want. Joey Ryan was on that show a lot.
Yes, he was.
Your house has never been in order because your list of grievances, Vince's list of grievances involves funky love. That's about it. It's bad creative.
It's terrible creative.
Yeah, but it's not the list of grievances that you idiots had in 4 years on TNT.
Right.
And you know what? I wouldn't blame Turner if they never put a wrestling show on TNT ever again. Because the last 2 times, it has fucked their wallet. It has done nothing.
Well, they did get hockey back, so to be fair.
Well, you know what? Hockey deserves to be on American television.
damn right. I love me some
Turner
hockey.
did get hockey. Listen, man.
For those of you that are like, oh, really, hockey? Yeah, okay.
We're in Minnesota.
By the way,
You
I
could literally
did,
have the Blackhawks playing the Coyotes right now. It would get a bigger number than AEW Dynamite.
Because
Oh,
here's
God,
the
yes.
thing. Like,
And the Coyotes suck.
Yeah, they do.
Coyotes actually don't have... The Coyotes are in debt to their own arena.
yeah, they are.
It's the funniest thing in
Are
the
they
world.
even allowing them in the arena
I don't
now?
know.
Because before I thought they shut them out.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay.
They might be playing outside in somewhere. Yeah, it's weird.
They might be playing at Arizona State University, which, by
right.
the way, actually is a really good hockey
Really
program.
nice. Really nice.
Arizona
hockey program.
State Sun Devils are one of the best hockey programs in the country.
Well, they got to be inside because it wouldn't be able to have ice down there.
Well, no.
A little too warm.
It's a little too hot.
Yeah.
It's the constant shots. It's the not keeping your own house in order. Like the botching of your
It's
own.
fighting with a news network that reported facts.
It's the botching of your own champions.
Yes.
Like it's
Are they going to survive
yes
another
that was fine.
year? Are they going to be here
Yeah.
in 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think so?
Leroy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing people have to understand. Look at his daddy. If the Jaguars haven't been relegated to a college football team yet,
Pretty close.
Well, bring back Urban if that's the case. If they
Then he'd
haven't
win.
been regulated to a college football team yet, if they're not regulated as semi-pro at this point, ladies and gentlemen, the Khan family keeps their investments. I don't care what anybody says. Like,
Well, and then of course Turner's
Worst-
paying nothing for the show.
no,
It's
that's the thing that people don't want to admit.
Right, they're paying
And I
nothing
said this
for it.
right to someone's face one time, and they were like, "It doesn't matter. They're not paying $1 million a show."
No.
So it's
They're
kind
paying
of
nothing for it.
Jesse, they have to sell tickets because they need the money.
On-
Vince don't need to sell tickets no more because he's got these TV.
On
By the
ad
way-
revenue alone,
And by the way,
Turner's covered.
you think Fox for how? Okay, Vince may cut wrestlers after putting $1 million into their vignettes, but you think Fox is going to put this much into their prime time networking?
By the way, before I even answer that, I don't know how you don't fire your friends. I swear to you, if we got big enough and Zach wasted $1 million of our budget on something, I have a hard time believing, Leroy, if I came to you, you wouldn't be like, so either I'm going to fucking kill him or I'm going to fire him.
Yeah, one of the two. One of the two.
both.
Fair enough.
I got swamps, engine blocks, and chains.
You got a lot. You got a lot.
I can make things disappear.
Just to throw some more shade at the buck-toothed idiot and funky old love who needs to be in his box. By the way, that was a great cookie.
I love
it
a
was
good
delicious.
cookie. It was
Should have
great.
made more. We would have paid you.
But I want to point this out. But I want to point this out. They're not paying for the show.
No, they're paying nothing for it.
And by the way, if you think that Fox is
They
going,
probably pay more for Family Guy reruns on
yeah,
TVX.
yeah. If you think that Fox,
Well, it's a lot better too.
It's true.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's the exact same show minus Peter Griffin. Anyway,
Really?
Joey Ryan was Quagmire, but not as lovable.
Goo.
I'm surprised Joey never did that spot. But anyway,
Are we sure he didn't?
it's probably on video somewhere.
It's probably on video.
But my point is
somewhere.
this.
Somebody
My
recorded
point is
it
this.
somewhere.
You're-
Oh Lord.
Here's the thing. If you think that Fox is gonna look at SmackDown and be like, we're done with you and we're gonna, why would they go down in ratings? Regardless of how little ratings they think they're getting out of
I think
SmackDown.
they did 2.4 this week, and that was a tape show.
Yeah.
You're getting.
Yeah.
You're averaging 2 million. They can't
easily
go
averaged
away.
2.1 million on
Oh, yeah.
SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
I mean, that's a success
And Raw's
right
averages
there.
easy 1.5.
Which,
Easy.
by the way, according to Fox News, the peak of Dynamite was 1.392. So you've never reached 1.4 officially.
They did go over 1 million this past week.
Right. But, Jesse, they always tease us with 1 million once in a while.
I know.
This is my point. You guys...
That's what. But I don't mean to.
No,
but
no.
That's why I know, because with the financials, they're actually paying for it. What they get back through ad revenue, and the fact that every now and then they can peak at 1 million, and I'm sure they actually probably will at some point on TBS.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
will be huge
It's
because no show on there hits 1 million.
It's in
They'll
their
be
own...
fine.
It's in more households,
well.
is TBS.
Oh, also before you're finished. Also, because apparently Sean Conn was a terrible fucking father, so
Yeah.
he just allows those babies to spend whatever kind of money they want.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of
If
like
Dixie Carter's like, where was this?
I relate
Hold on,
AEW.
hold on,
This
Leroy,
badly.
let that sit for a second. Oh my God.
Okay, all right.
Dixie Carter's like, Daddy, where was this money? Oh wait, hold on.
He's probably like, I don't love you that much. I watched that show. I didn't love you that much.
See now AEW
And his
is
dad and her dad probably didn't know a damn thing about wrestling.
Right, go ahead.
AEW.
Or he would have never invested in TNA.
AEW is going to remind me, and a few people that know me and know this town pretty good. Yeah. There's a certain place that we used to say that people would go to die. This is AEW, is where old WWE wrestlers go to die.
Feels like it.
Yeah.
Because there's a club over here in Superior where some certain ladies went to die because it was pretty bad. Yeah, and I think, I'm not going to even mention what it was, but yeah.
Probably like 5 of those places in Superior
Alone?
and then like 20 just right outside of the city.
Yeah.
So it's hard to nail that down.
Oh no, there was one. It had
okay.
a certain gentleman's club that they went to die because
Okay.
it was pretty bad one inside there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to the inside of all of them. I'm not saying that proudly.
No.
Well, I was drunk at one and they sent me
Listen,
in there. I was done with them.
I have been a lonely man for a while, so every now and then, since
Well, you do.
prostitution isn't completely legal in this country, you have
We
to
gotta
find
go
some
to a right
entertainment.
state.
And it's better than going and watching Dynamite live.
I've got an argument.
I would
That's
rather
true.
get arrested for soliciting prostitution
Yeah.
than watching them botch a heavyweight champion that they just put the time. Let's move on. Because I got jokes like that for
you know.
I think we have to actually move to that point because, Jesse, you know what they're going to leave in 2021? Any and all cowboy shit.
Well, you know what they're going to leave in 2021?
I wish
hope.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Their fans are going to have no fucking hope by the
I
middle
saw
of
the
this year.
results of Rampage this last Friday.
Yeah.
Might be the best Rampage they've
If
done
I
in a while.
missed it
That's not
correctly,
a high bar, but I hear you.
did every
500,000 is not a high bar.
did every match end on a submission win?
Yeah.
Well, no. Didn't. No.
No. Cody was pinfall. Cody was pinfall.
Okay, so
Cody pinned Sammy, yeah.
three out of the 4 matches.
Right.
This is the other thing.
Why?
This is the other thing about that show. Why is Rampage being used as a literal third hour?
I don't know. But why did they have to
They
have
have botched
every submission
I
match?
wish they would leave.
know.
I
It
wish
makes
they
no
would
sense.
leave Rampage on Friday nights in 2021.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
because outside of one night,
Right.
which was the most anticipated night in wrestling in 7 years,
Oh my God, I agree.
Yeah.
this show. And by the way, Jesse, the sad part about it is they're gonna maybe peak at 1 million, but the sad part about it is the history of this company tells you one thing: people are gonna tune in not realizing that's their new time slot, watch it for maybe a week or two, and then turn around and be like, "Oh wait, I don't want to watch this."
Let me be very clear about Rampage.
Yeah.
Rampage will never hit 1 million again.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a better chance of banging Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, and Beyonce at the same time than they do of having Rampage hit 1 million again. You are on right after SmackDown.
Which normally
stupid.
Which normally ends with the tribal chief.
Yes.
Standing there.
Stupid. That's stupid. And then now you just went after the news company that owns the that is now partial owner of the show.
Oh, you don't think some of the executives at Fox News are going to go to their sports division and be like, give Vince some money to bring in somebody because we go with these motherfuckers.
The Murdochs
Fox
are
News
very
is nothing if not petty as hell.
The Murdochs are very petty people.
Yes, they
so it's they are. They just are.
They're incredibly petty people.
They're incredibly bad and petty people.
I think like you, there's a better chance that I'll have a nice, attractive young lady in my bed sleeping with me than them.
As a matter of
hitting
fact,
over 1 million.
You got a chance of a hot elf lady showing up in your bedroom before my birthday, before they ever hit 1 million again, and you can bank on
before
that
my
shit.
birthday.
Boys,
Before my birthday.
Oh, before your because it was
January 22nd.
If it was
we share a birthday, don't we?
21st.
You son of a bitch.
Boys,
we're all Januaries.
Boys, calm down. I can't write all these jokes down fast enough. Calm down.
I
can't save these fast enough.
But if that's going to be for your birthday, I'm thanking you very much for paying a young lady to come in my house.
I mean, listen, I would rather shell out the money than watch Rampage live. Gone.
But you don't have to shell out much. My standards are kind of lowish right now.
We're gonna get a little back on track because now we have to get somewhat serious.
As
serious
shit.
as we can get.
As serious as we can?
Jesse, this is literally cowboy shit. This is cowboy bullshit. He hasn't even really been the hangman. No. He's just been hanging out with the Dark Order. Watching the guys get their teeth kicked in because, let's be honest, nothing against any of the dudes in there. Ain't nobody on Bryan Danielson's level.
So depressingly,
no, there's not.
I can't believe I have to say this. He wins my fucking feelings again. Zach does. I thought they were going to do something with this Hangman Page Dark Order thing, and it's been depressing. It's been a nothing
because they don't know what to do.
No, Leroy. That's the sad part.
Right.
They know what they're doing because even they know the Dark Order's a joke, but they're just trying to get it over to their fans, not realizing that then they come and talk to us about the key demo. Hold on. The ratings are supposed to be everybody, right?
Yeah.
You only care about your 800,000. That's all you care about. I wish they would leave at least 3 of it in 2021, but they're going to bring it with them.
Yeah, they will.
But the fact is that, Leroy, they don't know what to do with Adam Page because this is the problem. At least Dusty was a brilliant enough mind to get himself out of the fact that he was more of a get to the belt than be the guy.
Right.
The problem is that I love Adam Page, but Gato booked him great
Yes, he did.
in the short run, and WWE would have looked at him, seen a worker, seen that, okay, he's got this.
Right.
We can do something. See, this is an example.
They do great things with redneck gimmicks in WWE.
All the time. Jimmy Wang Yang was over. I don't care what anyone
Stone
says.
Cold, Jimmy Wang Yang.
Yeah.
When Kevin Nash first came back, he's basically a big, tall redneck.
Yeah.
Like, I do have to go on.
Sean technically towards the end.
Sean
of
was technically
yes,
a dang
yes,
redneck,
yeah.
and I like some rednecks,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
was a redneck
Yeah.
at the end there.
But
Like
no,
it is
but
what
no,
it
but no,
is.
but no.
Hillbilly Jim.
Leroy.
Yeah.
Leroy, this
Yes.
is sadly they're highlighting why Vince likes to know anything and everything that's going to happen on his show
Oh,
before
yeah.
it happens. Because here's the problem: they're throwing this shit against the wall, thinking the fans only care about Adam Page's title reign right now. It's only being one of the most watched parts because you have the American Dragon.
Right.
Yep.
If you gave him anyone else right now, even Punk, you wouldn't be getting this kind of rating.
No, they're
And
just
then, it's not even a million rating.
they're just taking stuff, throwing it at the wall, and if it sticks, okay, we're
If
gonna
it
use
was
that.
Punk, he wouldn't have tied. He would have lost the championship 2 weeks after he won it.
That's fair.
That's true.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean-
Oh, no one's ready for that CM Punk conversation. You can at me at Jay Stowe is ranting on radio on Twitter.
There you go.
But my point is this: from the moment they filmed the horse scene in downtown Minneapolis, or was it St. Paul they were in?
I think it was Minneapolis.
Okay, Minneapolis.
They're in Minneapolis.
Yeah, they were
I believe,
Minneapolis. From the moment they filmed that scene,
Terrible city.
they have had nothing.
That's all right.
Fucking awful.
It's okay.
It's
I almost want to tell Dave, like, just move north, man. We will treat you way better. What a terrible
yeah,
shitty
yeah.
little city.
but my point is this:
I only say that by the way, our fans
because they went to because they
because we
went to
literally because we literally live 2 hours north.
Yeah, exactly. but my point is this: is that from the moment the horse got put back in the horse stable that they rented,
That
They've
wasn't
had
a-
Which is probably somewhere down
no,
there.
it wasn't a stable. They just put him on the horse
whatever
trailer
My
and then brought him
my
back to
point
the
is this:
stable.
back to the wrestling side of this,
Yeah.
they don't know what to do with Adam Page.
No.
And Adam Page is too nice of a guy and too happy to be doing what he's doing because of obviously, the wonderful picture of him and his former students.
Right.
He doesn't know any better. He doesn't know anything about the fact that you are a star, kid. You really are.
Yeah.
But you're working with people who just made you a world champion. You're like, okay, it's a recognized world title
Right.
by the PWI.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's officially a world
And
championship.
I think a gorgeous title.
Yeah,
Absolutely gorgeous.
no, it's
title.
great. But the problem is that they are literally seriously AEW in 2021 became the living embodiment of the dude looking at a hotter girl while his girlfriend's looking at him. They are that meme because
Yeah.
they have done nothing but look to the future. They've done nothing but look to everyone else that came in that was clearly better than what you had in house.
Right.
Because they have let nothing happen to. Okay, you got studio wrestling back. You are on YouTube. It costs you nothing to put it on YouTube. You don't give a shit about it. Your own fans don't even watch it.
No, yeah.
Don't give me how many views their past shows have because it's YouTube. You can. What does it have after the show goes no longer live? What does it have? That's the
Oh,
question.
I can tell you what it has live most of the time.
Not a lot.
No.
700 viewers. That's it.
Jeez.
702.
Well, it's
702 if Leroy and I
For-
are watching our boys.
Oh, and by the
Uh-huh.
way, with all the shots they take at Raw, all the people in our sphere
Yeah.
that take the shots at Raw, technically they go head to head with Raw for at least 2 hours. You want to know what they get on YouTube? Barely 100 viewers. All I'm saying.
I'd rather watch Raw.
You say Raw is the hardest thing to watch, but it averages 1.4 to 1.5.
Listen, it's
Million.
It's a lot better.
Whereas,
Yeah.
It's a lot better recently.
I think
Yeah.
it's because okay, Jesse, you mentioned this way back when Petey Williams first got signed.
Because January last year, I kept telling you guys, like, I hate coming on here to talk about Raw.
Yeah, I know.
Because it was hard to go home and
Yeah.
and sit for 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours,
Yep.
no phone in my hand, just a sheet of paper where I was going to put the notes later so we could talk about Raw.
Yep.
And then my brain was like, I would rather choke myself than deal with watching this horrible show for 3 hours.
And sadly, you've now come over to the dark side where now that's whenever you watch anything AEW.
I would much rather watch a bad Raw.
Well,
Yeah.
I just think the AEW Championship, well, Adam Page will have it. Daniel Bryan will win it.
He's not.
Daniel will have it. Daniel Bryanson will have it this year.
The problem.
I think he'll have it this year. But
CM Punk could have it this year. Kenny Omega could have it this year.
Whenever Kenny comes back, good chance.
Adam Page could have it this year.
No.
Could.
No.
I'll say
no.
I'm not disagreeing.
Okay.
I only have.
He's not disagreeing. He's having.
Right.
I am fully disagreeing because here's the deal.
Why is that?
I am 100% on this sad wagon, not bandwagon, but sad wagon. They are going to pull a Vince, and here's what I'm saying. They're going to realize this didn't work, and they're literally going to shit on the guy for a year.
Even though it's their own
they're going to
fault.
shit on bringing back most of the Undisputed Era. They're still going to shit on him?
No. They're going to shit on Adam Page.
Adam
Page will not sniff
a title shot again?
A title shot. No. Not again, because here's the deal. This is AEW. This is All Friends Wrestling. Eventually, they're going to get it. take the E, take out one line. It's All Friends Wrestling.
That's
point
true.
Is this,
yeah.
That he's going to come back. Just like we all know at some goddamn point that I guarantee you is already scripted, Cody will be world champion. At some ever-loving point.
You really? He's going to pull the trigger?
Oh, they're going to find some dumbass loophole to get back in that keg.
He should have just did it already.
Thank you.
Well, that's true. He should have been.
You should have done it before the booze came down. But to be fair, if you never wanted the booze, you should have never brought your wife on television.
Okay, I'm sorry. I should have put Cody in there too. Okay.
No. Cody won't have it this year because Cody has to make the second season of that reality show work for another year. Then he can. Then, once TNT realizes it's not even on after the wrestling thing, no one cares about this because it's not following the wrestling thing, they're going to cancel that shit.
Maybe we should make some bets for...
So maybe it's another reason why he got the title.
No. I refuse to make a bet because here's the deal. I don't need to bet in AEW anymore.
No.
I'm not wrong.
Hear me out.
Some bets?
I want to try to save him.
Okay.
Because that show is going to come out probably by spring.
Yeah.
So Wrestle Kingdom's coming up, and we'll probably do our predictions next week.
Oh, by the way. Wrestle Kingdom, I do work the 2 days, but I'll be able to see the show.
All right, cool.
We'll be able to do the show. I'm just going to be tired as balls when I work.
January 4th, 5th, and the 8th.
No, just the 4th and 5th.
Just the 4th, because the 8th won't be available in America for a couple days, unfortunately.
Okay, well.
Which pisses me off.
That's
You're going to love it no matter when you see it.
Oh, I'm going to probably see it on the 8th.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to find a way.
Yeah. But anyway, Jesse, go ahead with your...
So, I want you to kind of take this week to kind of get caught up on the storylines for New Japan. And,
all right.
And then let's make a wager of whoever, instead of like for the belts, which I joked about earlier. Let's make a wager. Whoever wins,
I'll RKO your ass to keep my fucking.
He will.
Yes,
I'll take it.
It's gonna look more like a diamond cutter because I don't think you can get 6 inches off the ground. But hey,
I got a chair. Okay.
I will Dolph Ziggler sell that shit for you too.
So thank you.
Whoever loses will have to be the one who unfortunately has to come on the show and review that fucking Roads to the Top show.
Oh.
I'm giving you, because see, last time you took it upon yourself to do it.
I did.
And after listening,
we commend
to not
you
just
for
you,
that.
but Brian and a few other guys
we should
who watched
condemn you for doing that, but we commend you.
It was so bad. And the worst part about it is, it lives rent-free in my head because it was all so terrible.
Because I have access to TNT, so I can actually watch it, an hour after it comes out, even if I can't watch it live.
Yeah.
So we'll come up with some sort of wager where whoever loses has to review the show.
I'm down.
So I'm going to allow you to get caught up.
I literally can't lose because I've already been through the ring.
Because I truly don't want to watch the show.
This is a legitimate, I can only win this.
I don't want to watch it, but I don't want to make you suffer through another season of delusions. Which is what it should be called.
Roads to delusion. That's what it should be.
I'll make you some cookies.
Roads.
Yes.
If you do lose, I'll make you some cookies. That might help.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No. If I lose, you make me the cookies.
Yeah, okay, that's
because
fair.
I need to cry myself to sleep.
Well, whoever's the one that loses and has to watch a show.
To be fair, though,
you'll have some cookies.
To be fair, though, can we take the Shibata match out because we all win there?
I mean, listen, yeah.
Well, okay,
Shibata match is sad because that's a beautiful moment. This is a beautiful moment.
We all win there.
Yes.
But anyway, to finish up our...
He's going to hit that hesitation drop kick, and I'm telling you, it's going to be like the day that your kids... they get through middle school. You're like, man, they're almost 18. You start to, it's the happy tears. You know?
Yeah.
That's gonna be me with
That's
Shibata. It's the hesitation drop kick on somebody's face.
Yes. But anyway,
happy tears, and then
to finish up with our friends here.
Light up a smoke afterward. That was good.
To finish up with our friends at Spot Monkey, in 2022. Literally just stop doing what you were doing. I mean, that's really all I got.
I will be friends with anybody in AEW. Not named Cody Rhodes.
Fair. The Bucks.
Not named the Young Bucks. And definitely not named Chris Jericho. Talk about someone who's tainted their legacy.
I don't know. I don't know if Scorpio Sky's ever going to talk to you again. You've only complimented him once in 2 years on the show.
Oh, I don't care. Here, I'll help him.
Yeah.
From one black man to another.
Yeah.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes.
Well, we do know one guy that gets featured on every once in a while. JDX, great gentleman there.
Yeah.
I love him to death.
I hope he either goes to NWA, Impact, or NXT.
He was in NXT once already.
Okay.
Did we mention it? I think we mentioned last time, but he is going to be Terminus.
Oh,
in March. He is going to be featured.
Awesome.
He's in a 4-way elimination.
And by the way,
match
folks,
go
like check out the card for that first show.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Terminus.
It is looking damn good.
Jonathan Gresham has a card.
Our girl's going to be on there,
I know.
I'm so sad that she deleted an account. But hey.
I know. That does stink.
I'm sad. There's a couple other ways I can find her too, but it costs a lot of money. It costs money. I might spend it. I don't know.
Just do it when the kids are at school. Anyway.
Hey, no.
Anyway.
I do have like a few days by myself anyway.
But no,
so.
in all seriousness, Jesse, your outlook for AEW in the coming year.
Oh, shit. You're going to put me on this spot.
As they move to Turner Broadcasting System Network.
It's going to be another roller coaster. I think in the summer we're going to be like, man, okay, I think we finally turned the corner.
Yeah.
And then by next winter we're going to be like, fucking nope.
We're back at this shit again.
Here we go with this bullshit again.
And the biggest problem is, and I'll say it again, and I don't care, like Eric said, they'll probably never talk to me. I don't give a damn about the Bucks or their fucking feelings. You're the problem in all elite wrestling.
They're damn sure the problem in the tag team division.
Which is sad because their tag team division is now stacked.
Their tag team division is, including with the developed tag teams, is wonderful.
They are stacked.
They can literally do a secondary title in that tag team division.
It also doesn't matter because your number one ranked tag team will never get a tag team title shot. But anyway,
you know what I think they should do.
It's still Jurassic
in the next.
By the way, Jesse.
It is, but I think the Young Bucks should talk to Seth Rollins and his.
Why would Seth talk to the Bucks when he's got?
Well, no.
Seth could have a better wrestling conversation with Rue at this point.
But
go ahead.
But the only reason why I don't have
that child would know more about wrestling than those two children.
But maybe they have to talk to her so they can get better fashion sense and wear better clothes. Because the shit they wear now is.
I don't
know.
Everybody at this point makes fun of what Seth wears because they just realize that's what Seth's doing. The Bucks do it, and they think that's actually like.
It's not cool.
They think that's like no. I don't know. They're not that stupid. They know that they're doing it just for the gimmick. But like Seth is like devoted to it. They're just morons.
Yeah.
Boys, rompers were never meant for men. I don't care if they sell them for them. Stop doing it.
I would never wear that in my life.
The Young Cucks.
Fair enough.
Maybe.
The Young Cucks, the Young Sucks.
What
are their name?
Does it matter anymore?
We're gonna have the Young Idiots.
They're going to make a T-shirt out of some of it.
I never thought I would get to a point in my life where I would 100% agree with Jim Cornette on anything.
Literally anything.
But I agree with him about the Young Cucks. They're terrible.
Yeah.
And the most frustrating part about it is I don't even think it's subjective anymore. I think it's incredibly objective that if you watch them and you're trying to give them a chance and you end up hating them like we do because of their performances, it's just you're just like, dude, you guys are now like 15 years into this and you're still working like you're a bunch of 18-year-olds. What the fuck is happening? Like, what is going on? Like, and like I said last week, we're 4 years on television, and you still can't sell.
Someone told me the other day that they can show me matches of the Young Bucks that, quote unquote, don't have spots from their New Japan run, spots from their ROH run, and spots from PWG. And yet Jesse sat here and said, oh no, I've watched enough Bucks matches to realize it's the same shit they did in PWG, it's the same shit they did in the Super Junior division, and it's the same shit they did in ROH.
Correct.
Their matches are fucking highlight reels of what they used to do.
Right.
That's all they are. The Young Bucks.
So bad.
The Young Bucks are actually what's wrong with modern wrestling, and it's just them, because everything about them is get to the next spot, get to the next spot. Don't sell this because the next spot's coming so quickly.
Right.
That's literally what it is. The man who is the head of the table in another company on the island of relevancy is from one of the probably the greatest wrestling family there is. No offense to the Hearts or anybody else.
Right.
But he sat there and he watched modern wrestling guys on 205 Live, and he said, I don't want you to not do what makes you great.
Right.
But there are moments when you can slow it down and it doesn't hurt the performance.
Right.
Yep.
And even he got that.
Right.
In a family that doesn't have a high flyer.
Right.
There's no high flyer in that family.
Besides, the Usos now, but
closer. Yeah,
that's the closest. That's the closest thing to it.
The Hearts had Owen.
Right.
Yeah.
Owen was high flyer before high flyer was a thing.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, Ray's old enough to be that. But you get my
yes,
right.
yes.
But no, it's just no. You guys are not wrestling. You are sports entertainment, and you have been from day one.
Thank you.
You are sports entertainment through and through. And you know what? I am shocked.
You know what? That's all I want from their fans. If you got, if their fans, if you guys can give me that, then I will come on here and I will bullshit my way through a defense against this man every week on AEW. Just give me, you know what, Jesse, you're right. It's sports entertainment. And I'll be like, then we're good.
Yep.
Then we're good.
Hell, even I'll review it as a sports center. Again, we review Vince for what he wants us to have.
Right.
We know it's not a wrestling show. We know that.
I would put them at as sports kind of entertainment.
But if they were just to admit, if the Bucks,
what you want them to admit is that they're nothing more than an attraction.
Just, you know what, Bucks? I will pay you to come on our show and just be like, you know what?
We'll give you $20 for a Happy Meal.
You know what? No, I will do a stream because wrestling fans like to talk to the Young Bucks.
That's true.
And we'll raise the money to get them to kind of come on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just admit it's your sports entertainment.
Please just do that.
If you can do that, I'm good.
And then if you sit there and you tell us, well, guys, you brought us on here just to bash us. I'm like, no, we're asking you.
I just want you to
it's
come
just
on
a legitimate question.
And admit that you're sports entertainment. And then when you admit it, I want you to go to Tony Khan.
Yeah.
I want you to tell him, hey, I'm sorry that I had all these wrestlers cut these promos talking about we're the best pro wrestling company in the world when you're nowhere near fucking close.
Also, by the way, apparently the biggest homer, the biggest cheerleader in that locker room,
the biggest homer,
is Eddie Kingston, and they do dick with him.
I know.
They do dick with Eddie Kingston.
Well, if
much as we rip Eddie, he's at least
right.
He's like AJ Styles. He's a company guy.
Right.
Wherever he is, that's where I'm at.
Right.
But oh my God.
Go ahead, Leroy.
If we had the Bucks on here too, shit, our numbers might get huge.
Well, not only that, but I mean, to be fair, we need you still have any booster seats from when the kids were younger?
Yeah, I
don't think they're gonna be able to reach the mics.
Oh yeah, I do. I could even bring.
See, that was a shot I did not take.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
My mom still has a high chair when I was a kid, so I could bring that in.
Yeah. Perfect. So
I just want them and Tony Khan.
So it's an ancient stone rock. So it was carved out of a single rock.
No.
You mean
couple
Frank
rocks.
Flintstone didn't make it?
He said a couple rocks.
It was a couple. They had to build it.
She got the rocks from the quarry that Fred Flintstone works at. Okay.
Yeah. It was a really nice one too.
I don't know what just happened there, but
you know exactly what this was. You know what this was.
Don't you be ashamed of what this was.
And if my mom heard you say that, she probably would slap you.
Well, you know.
What I want them to do
Yeah.
is them and Tony Khan, you guys are more than welcome. And you know what? You can shit on us for an hour afterwards, but I just want you to come on here.
Most likely they would.
It is the Colin Cowherd rule on his show. Baker Mayfield, Russell Westbrook. You were allowed on the show. And Baker Mayfield, to his credit, did it.
He did, yeah.
The problem is Baker Mayfield's done nothing but prove Colin right. But you are allowed to come on the show. There's never a no to the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's allowed on this show, and you can take whatever shot you want at me.
Right.
I got no issue, because here's the deal.
I'm open. I don't care.
Yeah, because here's the deal. I am not going to take the shots unless I'm willing to take a few back. But here's the deal. Here's the deal, and I've said this 1,000 times on this show and in real life, because this is actually back to our opening thing about the key demo.
Right.
If it's the only thing you have to say, I'm right.
Right.
Yep.
If it pisses you off, if it doesn't piss you off, then that means you don't care.
Right.
Not winning in LA doesn't piss Russell Westbrook off, because he doesn't give a shit. He gets his triple-double. He's like, I had a good Christmas day. You got blown out by a B team.
And I think all the Laker fans realize that he's bad for the team. But continue.
He's bad for basketball. Fuck it. I said
I
it.
got nothing for West.
Put that soundbite somewhere. Fuck it.
I got nothing.
I haven't cared about him in 6 years.
The
But anyway,
Timberwolves are doing better.
T-Wolves beat them badly.
It's crazy.
yes.
Badly.
But my point is this. You are allowed to come on this show and take a few shots at us, because here's the deal. Everyone's like, you take a lot of shots from afar. I'm not hard to find.
Exactly.
I will from our official Twitter, I will DM you my personal cell phone number. You can call me and you can rip me for an hour. As long as you do it on camera, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care, because here's the deal.
I've taken a shot. I know.
If I'm willing to put it on camera, you should be too.
Right.
If you're not,
right,
then guess what? I struck a nerve.
Right.
Yep.
I struck a nerve. You can sit there and defend what you do, but again, we have not taken. I hate to say it, Jesse. We're kind of like Fox News. We've reported facts. We haven't exactly just thrown shots at you for the sake of throwing shots at you.
By the way, we're talking about Fox reporting the AEW stuff.
Yes,
not everything else.
No.
That's all we want to go for. That's it.
Pro wrestling related.
Here's the deal. On this show, we know Trump had something to do with January 6th. Anyway, but my point is this. No, the Bucks are welcome on the show, and yes, I know they don't do a lot of interviews. There's a reason for that, because no one's got nothing nice to say about them. But the fact is this.
Well, we would
just
have
admit
nice things to
that
say.
everything that you've ever done to make money in this business, it was because you did exactly what Vince has been doing from the day he bought the company from his dad.
Right. Sports entertainment.
You grew up on Ultimate Warrior. That's what you grew up on. You grew up on the fact that Vince made you believe what you believe. He's not Jim Herd, because Jim Herd was garbage. But here's the deal. He's not the Jarretts from back in the old days.
Right.
Nope.
Jeff was doing well until he brought in Russo, but that's a long, that story's been told.
That's always a
mistake. But my point is this. Here's the deal. You're not the Jarretts. You're not all the bookers that were in Mid-South. You're not those guys. But the point is this. Vince McMahon has never once thought of himself as a wrestling promoter.
No.
He puts that on for the TV show.
He wants to be a entertainment company, an entertainment conglomerate. He's actually apparently been very clear about that since '94.
He's been clear about that.
Yeah.
He's been clear about that for a very, very long time.
His entertainment of choice just happened to be wrestling.
Pro wrestling.
Because his daddy already had an established brand that he took global.
Right.
But my point is this. Boys, all of your success is because of Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. All of your success. That book that you made money on, which I still will not read if I have to pay money for it. That book.
It might be in the library.
Vince should be getting something out of this. Because it's all Vince hate is all. But by the way, consistency, I've been saying that in the show since day one.
Oh, yeah?
It's all because of Vince. That's where you made your $1 million. And yeah, I paid $30. Fine, whatever. I believed in them for a second, but like Jesse said, 15 years.
Right.
And you are the middle-aged Bucks, and you still are doing the same shit you were doing 15 years ago. But anyway,
Jim Cornette, Like I said, I never thought I would agree with him, but he was someone at Impact who really did try with you two and tried to put you guys over.
And that's the thing. He's never said he would never book them.
Right.
But they would have to understand they ain't as over as they think they are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he ever wants them to admit is, boys, you ain't over.
They're never
Bullet Club was already over before you got
Yes, it
there.
was.
And by the way, I'll even say it. I think Kenny got it global. You just leached off of him. Gato realized this is the hottest faction I got going. I got to do this. And ultimately, we all know AJ Styles sold the T-shirt.
That
Sorry,
is so
boys.
true.
Really, if it wasn't for AJ, that thing doesn't go global like it did.
Oh, no, not at all.
Definitely
And I
not.
think even Gato knows that, which is
Right.
why you've said if AJ ever wanted to walk back into New Japan,
He would be
ain't
welcome
nobody
with
going to
open
say
arms,
no.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nobody going to say no. But the
All
thing
right.
about it is that, Jesse, I think the other thing that the very last thing on this, because we got some great stuff to get to here in a
Right.
second. The last thing that I think we should say is this. Somebody needs to finally realize that in AEW, they have no idea what to do if they don't literally make a show that is reactionary to what Raw and SmackDown are doing. Am I wrong about that?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
And that's worth mentioning. All of your shows are reactionary. All of your shows are Oh, by the way, what did the whole internet say after Wednesday? The Undisputed Era is reunited. That's a Vince thing.
That was
They own that right.
Yes, they
And by
do.
the way, for those of you saying that Roddy's crying, Roddy re-signed.
Right.
Roddy chose to stay.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
again, context that apparently the smart crowd doesn't realize, Roddy was never the guy anywhere.
Right.
He
No.
was Mr. ROH, but he wore the letter jacket because he was the high school athlete that did the best for the high school. He wasn't the most popular kid.
Right.
Roddy is legendary for his cardio in the ring. The dude literally,
Right.
I've never seen him sweat except for War Games.
He's very good.
He's
Yeah.
so good in the ring. But
Right.
Jesse, they have featured him more than ROH ever did, and that's not
Correct.
me lying.
That's correct.
You've been to some shows. I've been to a show or two. We watched them for
Right.
years.
Right. Right.
And Roddy was always the guy that Jim tried to get to cut a promo,
Right.
but ROH never believed in. And in the end, he's the head of a faction
Right.
on a show which, regardless of rating, is still bigger than they ever gave him in ROH.
Right.
He was a punching bag in ROH.
You're right.
And again, if everything's finally canon, I mean, we know it's not in WWE, but they at least stay consistent to that. But the Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly have never had a good relationship with Adam Cole.
No, they have not.
They haven't.
No.
This is going to blow up at some point, and everyone's going to be like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, the same thing ROH, PWG, and New Japan did.
Right.
Really? Really? You're mad because WWE was the only one smart enough to keep them as a faction?
Right. Right.
The only
right.
reason why they're all gone, and I'm serious, and this is not his fault because it happened, the only reason the Undisputed Era isn't tearing up Raw right now is because Bobby Fish kept getting hurt and they had to keep redoing everything.
Right.
And that's not a shot at Bobby. I love Bobby Fish.
Right.
He's a goddamn freak of effing nature
Yes, he
because he
is.
shouldn't be as good as he is for as old as he is.
Right,
He's
right.
old as dirt now. He's older than Leroy.
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's a lot.
But it's just like, Jesse, Roddy doesn't need them.
No.
Because
No.
Roddy's better off where he is.
Right. Right.
If Johnny went, look, Leroy, you've had kids.
Yeah.
It changes your trajectory in life every time you have a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Something pivots differently. Johnny may just want to try something else.
Right.
He's going to be a dad. They might be able to give him a lighter schedule. It's like, I don't blame anybody for trying it.
Right. Right.
But I'm sorry. Adam Cole was the best thing in wrestling for 5 years. And in 6 weeks, no one cares about him.
Not
Yeah,
as much.
I don't anymore.
So, no. You react to everything WWE does. From the moment the sledgehammer hit the throne, you have been reactionary.
That's
Yeah.
so stupid.
We're not even going to talk about taking shots because
Yeah, right,
that's the
right,
classic
right,
internet
right,
line.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are reactionary. You don't do your own shtick. The problem is when you do, it's the Dark Order looking like a goddamn bunch of morons with an 8-year-old.
I don't even know why.
No offense to -1 Brody Lee Jr. Like, God bless you, sir.
Right.
we miss your dad, not as much as you, but probably very close because of what he did for our hearts. But you're an 8-year-old.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're a 9-year-old child.
Right.
And you're technically in charge of what was arguable. Again, their debut, Jesse, on television was actually good.
It was.
The punches kind of made it meh, but and no, it was not Eric Cannon. Eric Cannon would have landed a few.
Right.
But Jesse,
well, the weirdest thing was all those guys sitting underneath Evil Lunos for him to have a seat on them. That was a little freaking weird.
The
but
tongue thing was even weirder.
Yeah, that was
reach in and rip out
yeah,
blood either.
That was strange.
But anyway, Jesse, just so it's not only me,
right?
To a New Japan stan who supposedly they model themselves after stuff,
right?
Because they've admitted that,
right?
When has New Japan, unless it is to take an idea and make it their own, when have they straight reacted to what Vince is doing? Other than maybe, like you said, the Ruthless Aggression era may have led to their version of the Attitude.
Right.
But again, they wrote their own things. They never really took shots at anybody.
Right. No. So the only time I think they ever caught any influence from over here at all, was a little after the Attitude Era, at the beginnings of the Ruthless Aggression era.
Because you've stated that was around the time they were a little bit stagnant.
They were stagnant, and at that point they were starting, because as the Ruthless Aggression era kind of started to really, really pick up. Yeah. Because they were still almost running shit like it was the 80s out there over there. The wrestling was still wonderful. Yes. But some of the storytellings about it was very 80s, and you're like, ah. And at that point, of course, Misawa, God rest his soul, was kind of at the end of his career.
Yes.
And here's the thing. So, a couple years into the Ruthless Aggression era, then you kind of were like, you could see in New Japan's booking, like, okay, they're like, let's get a bit more attitude, let's get more aggressive.
But they weren't reacting to what Vince was doing. They were taking the tide turn.
I think they were like, okay, this is where it's going. Yeah. Because remember, people forget, during the Ruthless Aggression era, they were actually starting to do better in Japan than New Japan was.
Yes.
WWE.
I don't. Oh, yeah. Jesse, it's interesting you say that, because again, now that we move off AEW, we'll finish up with your thoughts on the reactionary comment. Right. But that's what people, I don't think, realize. New WWE has done a Raw.
Right.
In Japan.
Yes.
They needed a translator for damn near every promo.
Right.
Remember, Eric grabbed the mic and said, "You don't need to translate this, I'll just say it."
Right.
But what was even more interesting, Jesse, that crowd was a Raw crowd. That was an American-style crowd. Even though it was pretty much all Japanese people.
Right.
So New Japan saw that they were doing better in their own backyard and said, okay, the fans are still going to be what they are because of the culture. Right. Because, like you said, it was embedded in the Yakuza for a while, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, wrestling is just embedded in their culture. It really is.
Right. But my point is this, is that they reacted to the culture shift, not exactly the stuff that Vince was doing.
Right.
AEW is literally taking shots at Miz. And Miz didn't acknowledge them. Edge did. Hell, Edge got FTR over more than AEW ever did on a comment of Seth putting his feet up on his couch.
Let me call Dave or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
Danny and Dave. Let me call Danny and Dave. They're on their way.
Right.
And they even tweeted back, "We're on our way." I'm like, God damn it, they're still doing this shit.
Yep.
But anyway, going forward, Leroy, your hopes for the 2022 AEW, because then we're going to get to some real good shit.
That I could actually enjoy watching him. That's what I'm hoping.
And by the way, folks, he's not saying that just for the hype and the views.
No, he really means that.
He legitimately
I would like to watch other nights of wrestling besides what I watch, and only reason I watch is if one of the boys are on Dark, or JDX is on Dark, or Sierra, or somebody,
or Dante actually does show up to a Raw, or Dynamite, or a Rampage.
Raw light.
That's the only reason.
This, folks, despite
that's
all
the
the
only
jokes
reason
we
I'm
make about
watching.
Leroy, even though canon, I think you're like 9,000 years old at this point.
I think so.
In real life, like I mean, seriously, no kayfabe here. In real life, you're in their demo.
I am.
So they should care about you right now.
And
for only about 6 more years, but still.
I watched their highlights, and that's about it.
Okay, Okay, last thing, because that's interesting, because Jesse and you and I talked about this off camera. Okay, on my way here, I got a little teary-eyed because my car YouTube mix went straight to a song that will forever be embedded in my heart, which is "Ghosts of Days Gone By" Alter Bridge. Because god damn, do I love me some Alter Bridge. But my point is this: it is a song that invokes a feeling. When WWE gives you the highlights of a show, Jesse, there's nobody in the world better at editing.
They're usually great.
The problem with AEW is that their highlights fall flat.
Yeah.
They don't know how to edit the highlights of the show. So when I'm just trying to get the highlights, I'm not that impressed. So anyway, moving off them, we spent a damn near first hour on them.
More than that.
Yeah. We spent a little bit more.
But to be honest, we had 4 topics talking about them, so we might as well get them all in one.
I want to point this out.
Well, God bless you, Leroy.
I'm sorry, I burped.
If you want other entertainment that isn't WWE,
damn right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dark Arts Entertainment presents professional
do you
wrestling.
Want that? I could do it too.
Phone, yeah. Dark Arts Entertainment presents live professional wrestling monthly at the Super Beast Training Compound located in the Arts District of Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Correct.
A hybrid of pro wrestling with an underground feel. Dark Arts Entertainment shows also include live bands, great sideshow entertainment,
right,
and food, beer, and more. And as always, they are
420 friendly.
Yes.
So bring your weed.
Yep. Come see top talent and matchups you won't get in any other promotion in Vegas. And by the way, Vegas has a very good talent pool.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of great talent down there. For more information,
because there's a streamline, of course, between Southern and Northern Cal that goes straight there.
Yeah.
Choked on my own saliva for a second.
Yeah. For more information or to get tickets to the shows, head over to darkartsvegas.com or grab their official mobile app from the App Store from either iOS or Android today. Starting next year, we will be reviewing some of those shows.
Yes.
Because Jesse's been catching a couple of them.
Yes, I have.
And
I've been catching up on some of the.
You haven't hated one yet.
Man,
they're great shows.
They actually put on one hell of a show, and now I'm also hoping to get out to Vegas and catch one this year. So
And if you can't make out to Vegas, MAW in February
live from Turtle Lake, Wisconsin
is going to bring a taste.
They're going to bring
a
taste
here.
of Dark Arts Entertainment there with our boy Funny Bone. Yes, your demigod of death will be appearing at Heart of a Warrior February 12th at the Turtle Lake Casino. And boys,
we'll be there.
Because damn,
I'm bringing the boy with me too.
Leroy's
my son.
Leroy's going to bring. Leroy, how do you feel? It's your last son's first wrestling show.
Well, that'll be all right. Well,
yeah, okay.
He'll go down. It goes down and it'll go down in glory. It's all right.
Please, as we've said, go to darkartsvegas.com. That is capital D Dark, capital A Arts, capital V Vegas.com, or grab their official mobile app because boy, do they just have great wrestling.
Yes, they
do.
Yes. And by the way, hey, Jesse, another thing about not lying, they say it's a hybrid of pro wrestling with an underground feel.
Right.
So when they do, what Jim Cornette would call stupid mud show stuff,
right?
Even though they're great wrestlers as well,
right?
They're at least saying it's a hybrid,
right?
I mean, it's supposed to be a show.
It's supposed to be an entertaining show.
And by the way, the wrestling itself is still
the wrestling is very entertaining on its own.
They just like to bring you more stuff.
Right.
That's what's so great about these shows.
Yeah.
But anyway, we finally waited and waited and waited, and it finally happened. And you know what? I think it's going to work because he's got the backing of everyone that he needs. Omos is now going to have a singles push.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm nervous.
I am a little nervous too. Yes, I do. I understand
he's got
that.
backing from a lot of big
people.
But
I got to be honest, man. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but this is their own fault.
Yeah.
Their quote-unquote reasoning for releasing Adam Scherr makes me very nervous. Want to know why? Because I think Adam Scherr was actually more athletic and could do more in the ring.
To catch everybody up, Adam Scherr.
So Adam Scherr, formerly known as Braun Strowman.
Now known as Titan.
Yes.
Yes.
But I thought he was way more athletic.
That gimmick on the road, basically, since ROH is only going to be maybe a spot show place.
Well, basically, it's his gimmick, so he can do whatever the hell
I'm talking about. So is EC3 going to take?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
By
the way, Killer Cross, who's doing movies.
Yeah.
is actually a part of that faction. So
Yeah.
because they released a shirt and his face is on it. People were like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then he confirmed.
Yeah.
Because basically the marketing team forgot that he hadn't released his video yet.
Yeah.
And so they were like, "Oh, we
by
kind of see
the way,
pooch."
his wife Scarlett recently came out in an interview and
Yes.
said when they left Impact, they looked around and they said WWE was the best place for them.
Yes.
So, yeah, things got botched when they got there.
Right.
But to think that a top indie star
After a while.
Yes.
After a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Well, also I think that Fatal 5-Way did him no favors.
It did not help.
No, it did not. No.
He was not ready for it.
He did not look like he belonged in that group.
No. But my
with that
point
group
is
of
this.
guys.
If you're telling me that a top indie star can't at least listen to a sales pitch
Right.
and get sold,
Right.
you're off your rocker.
Right.
But anyway, no.
She was also selling herself because she has an OnlyFans. So go ahead and check out Scarlett Bordeaux on OnlyFans.
Back to Omos.
She does have a fat ass. And speaking of fat asses,
Nothing wrong
listen,
with that.
talking about a transition back to Omos.
That's great.
Speaking of a fat ass because he's 7'4" and 420 pounds. I am nervous because they just did this 4 years ago with Braun.
Right.
And they had him work with one of the best to put him over in Roman.
Yeah.
And then in the end, they botched the shit out of it.
But I think what's unique about this is you don't get a guy like Mark Calloway to say what he said unless he has seen something that we haven't seen yet because he was just playing the heavy.
And here's the thing: he's worked a lot before he got this.
The best
opportunity.
since Andre. I mean, folks, Andre's legacy looms large in this business.
Oh yeah, it does.
He probably didn't mean it this way. If that almost feels like a shot at Paul White, because I thought Paul White was excellent as almost the next. Now, did he have the level of success that Andre did? No. But was he as much of a Hall of Famer as Andre is? Absolutely.
But I think the other thing about it is you have to realize Vince had higher expectations. See, the thing about Omos, and I'm not saying this, and I have to say this because it's wrestling and the stereotypes are out there.
Right.
It's not because he's an African American man and they're trying to make it more serious.
No.
But Paul had a very personable thing to that, whereas I don't know if that's because that was a natural Paul White thing.
Right.
I don't know if that's Omos as a person. It's like Brock. The personality now, it's probably because he's getting older.
Right.
But I don't know if that's Omos as a person because I don't know Omos as a person yet. We don't know. But my point is this: is that Paul was expected more because Andre was a very closed. But again, Andre lived in a world that was not built for him.
True.
Andre lived in a world that we hadn't created a world for people of his size.
Right.
Now, for better or for worse, now we kind of have.
Right.
But Andre,
because oh my God, just go look at a basketball or a football player. And you'll be like, okay, there's just a lot of big human beings nowadays.
But my point is that I don't think it's fair to say that it was a shot at Big Show because Paul White.
Oh, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think he meant it as a shot, but it just it feels slightful of him.
Yeah.
Just because of what Paul White did.
But again, I don't think Paul was ever.
And to be fair to Big Show.
Yeah.
Not like they didn't fucking botch him many a time.
Oh, I agree.
Oh, God, yeah.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Now, of course, the best find a way to overcome these things.
Yeah.
And he did so on a million occasions.
Yes.
I'm nervous because I don't think he's the talker. And Braun was a limited talker already when he had started. But I don't even think Omos is the talker that Braun was when he started.
And again, folks, I hate to say it, in this business, W. Morsley.
Yeah.
If you can't talk, you're limited.
Right.
And he's
Stone
gonna be
Cold, Rock. They could wrestle great matches. They could react. They had great timing. But folks, what sold the tickets were the promos.
Right.
You had to pay to watch Rock take a stunner and then fly halfway to Cincinnati. Which he hated Cincinnati because it was Cincinnati.
I
Hollywood
understand.
Rock was so good.
That was great.
But yeah, I mean, what are they gonna? I mean,
what are they gonna do? I don't know.
Do
He's
they
gotta
have
finish up
a?
with AJ?
Do they have a mouthpiece for him? Or are they gonna find one?
Maybe. So there is a theory that what they could do with Omos, because that match is actually, I think, on Raw this week and not day one like originally planned.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was a couple matches I thought were going to be on day one that are not
on Raw. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so the thought is he might lose to AJ on Monday.
Yeah.
And then put him with MVP because they've been turning
Right,
Bobby more face.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And if
You
you,
know
want to
what?
recreate
You know
the dominance of a Hurt Business, well, Omos is the perfect fucking guy to do it
You
with.
know what?
That's
Hear me
true.
out. Hear me out. Malcolm Bivens.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have a hard... And I know Vince can do it because he's the overall power,
Yeah.
but you're going to have a hard... It's going to be hard for Vince to not hear Sean out about him. And then Sean will just convince him enough to be like, okay, I'll keep her down here for now. But I kind of need to go out because I need another talk. Yes, I'm mocking Vince
I'm aware.
because it is hard to
I'm
hear
aware.
Vince talk.
I'm aware.
I had to turn up my volume from friggin' 20 to 50 when Vince is on Raw nowadays. I can't believe that day has come, but I have to do it.
I know.
This used to be the man that projected himself. You go find Trish and tell her she's going to bark like a dog. Like, he was... Anyway, what happened to my grandpa?
But here's the interesting thing, too, with Omos with his single push. Are they going to single push him into one of the titles? Or just give him a run?
And that's the other thing I'm scared of.
It's like, don't push him in the
David-
world.
Were they
Damian
failed with
Priest is doing great things with the U.S.
Where
title.
they failed
Yeah.
with the Fiend
Yeah.
was putting the title on him right away.
Yes.
Because now you haven't built anyone at that point. They hadn't built anyone to beat the unbeatable monster.
I agree.
So now when you do the thing with Goldberg, now everyone hates you and
Yeah.
they hate the decision
I agree.
because they're like, and now they hate Goldberg.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
guy who you took 7 years. Speaking of another 7 years, took
Yep.
7 years away to try to come back as a hero, and you forced him to be hated because you had to beat him for the. At some point, you had to beat the Fiend for the title.
Yeah.
And see, that's the problem with Omos. If you put the title on him too soon, I mean, besides maybe Big E.
Yeah.
Have you built anyone to fucking beat him? And yet people would be like, I mean, there's always Randy. But at some point, that you can't rely on that
I agree.
anymore.
I agree.
Big E and Bobby Lashley are the only two people that could
That's
you
about
could
it.
see
And I
going
mean,
toe-to-toe.
And Randy, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's always a
He'd
threat.
find a way to do it.
Right. But it's just...
It's interesting when you stand in the presence of that man,
yeah, but so you got to see him.
and I'm sitting here saying to myself, you know what?
I had a couple of friends at Manning who were like, yo, he's impressive.
You know
bro.
what? He may actually be in that quote GOAT conversation. I'm not
Oh,
joking.
yeah.
He's only like 2 behind Rick. And the truth is, Randy has always been able to talk.
Oh, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I mean, Randy is just...
Yeah.
He might be there someday. I mean, he just might.
Oh, yeah,
if
I
Randy
totally
wins
agree
3
with
more
that.
world titles, no one's going to question it.
I don't think he will, though.
No. I agree. But I'm saying if it happened, it's not like people are going to be like, wait, this guy? No.
I remember John,
that guy.
John Cena's already technically tied, which is why when he came back to fight Roman, people were like, oh, shit, is it going to happen?
Yeah.
Because it's like he could... In WWE's canon of 16, we all believe technically that Rick had like 28.
21.
Yeah, something like
21, because they don't count the Mid-South.
21.
that. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right,
they
right.
don't.
They don't
yeah.
count Mid-South.
Because Vince apparently fucking hated most of them down there. But
Yeah.
They hated him.
well, they hated him and he hated them.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited,
But I'm nervous.
but I'm nervous.
Now,
Hopefully it goes
now,
well.
To transition from what happened, AJ, one last run, you think? I think he's got a couple
For a
years
baby
left.
face?
But AJ, what do you think, Jesse? Just send him down to NXT for the last couple of years to see what he can do?
I don't know what's going to happen with that. And if so, you know, of course we're not doing this live, but they're looking at my face, and it looks like I'm deeply confused because I actually, for once, don't know AJ's future.
Yeah.
Because the NXT stuff could happen just for the next 6 months.
Which, by the way, as soon
Because
as we're
remember,
going, yeah.
when he showed up, they still gave him his Raw
Yes.
tag to
right,
show
yeah,
that
yeah,
it was AJ
yeah,
Styles.
Yeah.
So
That's because he has to go finish up with Omos, obviously.
but
that's
I
the
just
reaction.
I have a hard time believing they're actually taking him off of Raw completely.
Right.
It's just maybe he's doing a favor for Vince to kind of help some of the stuff going on down there. But.
Actually, it's interesting. I want to jump into this because we didn't talk about it last week when we should have. Jesse, they're listening to you. Grayson Waller is the most hated man in wrestling.
Man, he's a despicable little piece of shit, isn't he?
And it's great.
It is.
And everybody hates him.
And by the way,
everybody in the wrestlers hate him.
Could you have booked
a
better NXT to follow War Game, to follow Johnny's goodbye?
Right.
Every single moment he was on my screen was scripted perfectly. EO didn't like him. Braun kicked him out of the locker room.
Right.
All the locker room guys. It was despicable. It was heat to levels that I don't think, Jesse, we've seen in a while, and I'm serious.
Right.
And it's even Mrs. Loomis. Fellow Australians, whatever, you suck, get the hell away from me.
Well, and then it's also because they still play into the quote-unquote family dynamic of the Gargano family.
Yeah, they still do a little bit, yes.
Listen, Sean, love you. Give me a call, buddy. Give me a call. I got your back. Give me a call.
Oh, we do.
I said it. I said after the initial beatdown of Johnny on his way out, I said, you have an opportunity to make a mega superstar heel in the likes we have not seen in 20 years.
They were chanting, shut the fuck
up.
There's
a genuine hate now.
They edited it to shut the hell
up.
Right. But they were chanting, shut the fuck up.
It was almost
that was the first time I was brought back to the old Full Sail days.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And here's by the way, it's more edgy than it was back then.
Yeah.
People don't realize that about 2.0.
Yeah. But that's my point, is that they were chanting, shut the fuck up. They hate this guy.
I think this is why I'm always like, man, I'm so hopeful about if Sean and Triple H can get their hands on the main roster, because think if this was Grayson Waller and this is Randy Orton looking like he's going to retire.
Yeah.
And he's done some despicable shit in his career.
Yeah.
Including kicking John Cena's I still can't believe they let him do that. Kick John Cena's father in the head. And he comes out and annihilates Randy Orton. Well, guess what?
Like you said, he's pretty much marked for life, no matter where he goes.
Yeah.
That's a guy now at this point, you cannot turn face.
You couldn't.
Almost impossible to do.
It would be a complete miracle.
Up a guy that was the literal heart and soul of what, for probably 5 years. Yeah, Adam, you were there. Was the hottest brand in all of wrestling.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
They were the hottest brand when they were on the network.
Right.
And they were only an hour show.
The numbers on the network were decent because people just wanted to watch NXT.
Yeah, but my point is this, is that they have created a guy. He is marked for life in this business. Even if WWE cuts bait with him tomorrow and says, whatever, it just didn't work, you're still the guy that beat up Johnny Gargano in canon, bro.
Right.
I mean, you are going to be booed out of every
Oh my God, yes
ever.
you are.
And Jesse, like I said, they booked it perfectly following week. And again,
and I know some people are wondering about what came about with him and AJ. So that's why I say sometimes pay attention to Twitter as far as WWE is concerned.
Yeah.
Because they actually do it a lot to actually start stories.
Yeah.
So, maybe they should do it more fucking often, because the 60-year-olds who book the stories don't do a good job. But yeah, this kid has a shot. He's got a shot at being more hated and more successful than MJF if this is done right.
Oh, I agree. Because here's the thing, MJF, smarmy little heel. But MJF also just looks like a guy that is just very intellectual and smart. This guy's legitimately a douchebag.
Right.
He has the look of a legitimate douchebag. And I say that with all the love in the world to what he's doing.
Oh yeah. When he came in, when I first saw him, everything, it wasn't really. He was just, showing up there just to establish himself.
Right.
Yeah.
But what they have him going at, it's holy shit.
Do me a favor, and I know NXT was really good about this towards the end of the Winged era, but you need to do this now because you've started something. Bring him out for something every week for like 2 months. I don't give a shit what he does.
Right.
Just show his face on television, show him to the live crowd for 2 minutes minimum every goddamn week. And by the way, don't give him a match.
You don't
Don't
have
do it.
to.
Not because I don't think he can't wrestle,
Right.
but because he doesn't need to.
Right.
No, he
can
doesn't.
live off this and not wrestle for 2 months minimum.
Right.
And then he can get in there and beat some people up. But all I'm saying is that it needed to be talked about that this guy, as Jesse said, could rival MJF very quickly if it's done right.
And to give them another shout out, the Joe Gacy thing, I'm in now.
It was weird.
It was weird.
It was weird
first.
to start, but
No. I'm not even talking about the gimmick. We all know that was weird. It was weird how there was so much social media backlash that they were about to cut it completely. Now, it works.
Yeah.
Because he's a creepy fucker.
He is
so unsettling.
But he comes off as a creepy intellectual.
Right. And it's funny because I'm a progressive, so there's a lot of points that I would usually agree with, but when I'm watching him speak, I'm like, am I a bad person?
Yeah.
Because he's a creepy son of a bitch.
You don't agree with anything he said?
No!
Not a goddamn
Like,
thing.
I don't trust him. He's swarmy.
Yep.
And the best part about the character, if they keep working on this part of it, it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
And people don't realize that's sometimes the best heel you can have.
By the way, I promise not to bring them back up. Hey, Spot Monkey, that's how you throw someone down a flight of stairs.
Right.
That's the camera angle you're supposed to. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, Jesse, that's that's why Darby Allin should have gone to WWE. Because he wouldn't be doing that stupid shit.
Yeah,
he'd be protected in the stunts.
And these are two great characters that they are developing here, which they wanted to
Allison
do.
thought he was wearing like fucking slippers when Harlan.
That could have been.
Just the camera angle looked like.
But
the only
but they can bring him up.
Right. Well,
and
here's
that's
my
the best part.
The only negative, and actually Steve from Steven Larson, I agree with him on this. Harlan better show that he has more than a 2-move set soon.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Because all that work Joe Casey's, which is phenomenal. By the way, this is everything they wanted Bray to be, and then when they kept losing matches, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
But because Joe Gacy not only doesn't lose usually, but he sells the creepiness so well.
I will say this.
Yeah, he does.
While I agree with you, he needs to show quickly that he's got more to him.
Right.
It was kind of perfect in the sense that, okay, they didn't give you a lot.
Right.
And I think that, Joe Gacy can sell that.
Right.
But my point is this, is that, again, I'm not disagreeing he's got to show more.
Right.
But I still think it was done perfectly.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah, the other, like I said, but because I know we said, we gave Braun Breaker a lot of credit last week, and he deserves it.
Oh God,
that guy's a mega star in the making.
Yes,
it is.
But Grayson Waller and Joe Gacy has such a future there. I see. You see, that's why I understand a Kevin Owens resigning. It's not just the financial security for your family,
right?
But I would look down there and be like, man, if they can get some of these guys right and call some of these characters up. Think of Kevin Owens having to go babyface again against that Joe Gacy. That's a fun story you could tell for 2 months.
Yes.
That's an uncomfortably fun story.
And not to mention that we all know whether it's Steen or Owens, he can talk his ass off.
By the way, for those who don't know, because I'm just a wrestling junkie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry because it helps the show.
Yeah. Oh,
yes,
but I apologize to dates like, if you talk wrestling with me, you're going to be annoyed because I'm a wrestling junkie.
Yes.
Joe Gacy actually used to be in a faction with Eddie Kingston.
Okay.
Back in the old, they bought the WWE bought the damn library of the company.
Oh, Evolve.
Oh, really?
And he was a very Kevin Owens like wrestler. Like, he was a brawler who could actually do like suplexes and shit. So he's actually very good in the ring. He hasn't shown that much of it in NXT.
He doesn't need to right now.
Which right now he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
But with his wrestling ability and this fucking character that they've started to perfect, you've got the makings of your next like evil superstar.
Oh yeah.
That's just uncomfortable.
And what's even more unique, and again, going back to when you had Rusev and Lana, I'll use it there. Vince does kind of know what's going on in the world.
Right.
And while he gives a weird, like you said, 80-year-old version of it,
Right.
We can relate to Gacy more than we could Bray Wyatt.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why it works.
Right. When Bray first came back with the vignettes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what Joe Gacy is now that they don't need to get rid of. It was fucking unsettling seeing him come out with puppets, and he's just smiling, but he's apologizing for everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, the more they do this, more people were gonna buy it, and then they did. And because you're like, every time you saw a vignette, you're like, man, this is unsettling.
Yep.
And then the first time you see the Fiend show up, and like I said, it was one of the greatest things WWE did and showed me that they can still do it.
Yeah.
Was, of course, the debut match against Finn Balor. Like I tell everyone at SummerSlam, I'm like, go back and watch it again.
Oh, yeah.
And then watch it with their people's reaction. Look at X-Pac's face. He's uncomfortable the whole time. He's like, what the fuck is he about to do? But he just looks unsettling. The music is unsettling.
Yeah.
He's carrying his own fucking head in a lamp.
Yep.
If
Yep.
you do this right with Joe Gacy, you got something.
And by the way,
I think so.
By the way, Joe Gacy has the ability to do something that is very Paul Heyman like.
Yes.
And let me explain this
Yeah.
to the viewers, not you guys. It's real.
Right.
There's so much reality based to
Right.
it. That's what
God,
makes it
yes.
creepier.
Right.
That's what lays the groundwork for a truly creepy superstar that has a heavy that's a real heavy. Let me point something out. That dude is solid.
God.
That is a solid human being.
So what they did when he first joined was they put a picture of Baby Brock and him together, which is what the nickname Baby Brock for him.
Yeah.
He's built like Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yeah.
He just has more tattoos.
Yeah.
And not much of a neck.
For real,
Very
Parker
good.
Parker Perdue is fucking built.
He was but he was a lineman.
True.
Well,
true.
yeah, that helps.
Basically, the modern linemen, people don't realize there's not much of a gut on those guys.
No.
They're not as guttish as they used to.
No.
Oh yeah, with those guys.
When LT broke Theismann's leg, there were guts back then.
Right.
These guys got to be able to twist and move.
Right,
So
right.
I mean, you're talking about. Arguably, you have another Corbin on your hands because you have a guy who played one of the most athletically needed positions in the most athletically demanding sport. And now it's like, this is a night off from being a lineman.
Right.
Your ankles ain't going to get stepped on 17 times a day.
No.
But they're working, and with Ron Breakin there, you got 4 guys
Oh, yeah, more
that
than 4. They've built.
Well, no, these 4,
these four.
the ones we're talking about, is a great nucleus that
Next week-
you can bring up
Next week on our
on Raw or
on our
SmackDown.
show,
It'll be great.
Next week on the show, Leroy.
I agree.
Yeah.
Write this down because I want to make sure we do this. We're actually going to dip our feet into the rabbit hole that is NXT 2.0,
Okay.
and we're going to actually explain to you guys, not just with it's been good shows. We're going to explain to you why you should be excited.
And
about
you
it.
should check it out. Just
Yes.
give it a shot.
Yes.
Give it an opportunity.
Yes. The lighting is something that is still bothering all of us, but we're over it.
Here's what I will say about the bright lights.
Funky Love can't see anything.
They've actually started to dim it during
They have.
matches, which
They
is
have.
nice.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
mind it. I have loved the change ever since they started.
But
By the way, the other guy I really like now,
Who's that?
Andre Chase is entertaining as shit.
Oh yes.
And I said on the show, folks, I have never heard Jesse outside of when he finally took the veil off the Bucks. I've never heard Jesse lose his shit about how much he hated a gimmick
Yeah.
when it first happened. And now he can't wait till the segment happens.
Oh, dude. Because at first I'm like, who's this fucking clownish ass professor? Looks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But like the more I've seen him and the character develop, I'm like, oh, I love this. He chuckles
I
the
will,
shit out of me.
So next week
I'll get the full roster, so we
Yes.
have all the roster
Because,
of
by the
everything
way,
going on right
the
now.
women's division,
It's
they replenished it. I don't know how they did it so quickly, but it's great.
Yeah.
It
Which,
is.
by the way, Io's probably going to be gone soon. So, yeah, they did a great job.
Which, by the way, if Io leaves,
I mean, I think she's going to get called up soon.
but that's the thing. If Io leaves to NXT,
Right.
what a run she had.
Oh, yeah.
She,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She arguably could be the best thing of the Winged era.
Right.
I'm not even joking.
Right.
Because she was so good.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, next week, we'll talk about NXT 2.0. And like we said, just to preface, we're not going to sit here and bark about how it's better than he's petting the belt. We're not.
It's a beautiful belt.
That's fair. We're not going to bark about how it's better than Rampage. We're not going to bark
I would
about
fucking take this belt out on a date if I could. I'd finger it.
That's fair.
Sorry, continue. You have to edit that out the show.
No, we're not going to edit it, but you can't violate my belt.
But here's the deal.
Get your own belt to violate.
It's not going to be.
I'm working on it.
We're going to have to compare it to Dynamite because we have no choice. Because
yeah.
again, AEW, you open that door, not us. But the thing is that we're going to spend time highlighting why you deserve this NXT.
Right.
Yes.
Because, folks, I don't know how they did it. I don't know under any way how it has come off as good as it. Because honestly, based on everything we saw, the vignettes leading up to it, Jesse, it shouldn't have worked so quickly.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't have. It really shouldn't have, but it has.
There we go.
But anyway, Jesse, what is next for the Wise Man?
Listen, well,
what he did on a pre-tape show.
Here, let me tell you. The first thing that should be next is there should be an Emmy nomination and an Oscar nomination in the future.
I know he's not in the Actors Guild, but a Screen Actors Guild, give him all the awards.
So what Vince should do is send this video to the Academy.
Oh, yes.
As a short.
Yes.
And he should be nominated.
Yes.
Because this was a brilliant performance. This was so good.
Jesse, let me explain something. We all know one thing. Paul Heyman is far from done with wrestling.
Well, of course.
But he had me thinking. And
yes.
And before Jesse continues, to quote Jim Cornette, trade anyone on your roster to get Paul Heyman.
Right.
Just do it.
That dude is great for pro wrestling. He's phenomenal.
He's just...
Don't let him run the books.
No.
But let him run the creative because he is phenomenal.
Oh, my God. And this is why I told Eric, I don't care if he's not officially on the writing team. The writing team's not giving Paul Heyman a word for word what to do.
Not a
Paul
chance.
Heyman. You think the comedy writers were gonna let Paul Heyman walk out onto SmackDown and say, and I quote, "That's my people's shit. You're doing my people's thing." I'm like, Paul,
Dude, so of course last week he was fired and he was
unceremoniously Superman punch.
And Superman punch in the face, which Paul, don't feel bad. Everyone in this company has been Superman punched in the face at some point.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes.
And this week he comes out and he's crying and he's blubbering. And,
my God.
by the way, also, she should never quit this job because I think it's Charlie, because her chemistry with Paul Heyman.
Caleb Braxton.
Thank you.
Caleb Braxton.
Is fucking insanely good.
I don't want an actual love angle.
No.
But I want what Paul has created to just happen.
Well, because here's the thing. Because the relationship very much is...
Jesse. $1 million idea. Hear me out for 10 seconds.
Okay.
Bum-ass Heyman with Caleb Braxton.
Oh, that's great. Just unshaven.
Which by the way, he recently did an interview with Ryan Satin.
Mm-hmm.
The interview for Fox Sports was amazing. It was only supposed to be a 2-week thing. And actually, it's interesting. Leroy, I don't... And if I find it again, I'll send it to you. Corbin's doing an interview talking about bum-ass Corbin. He had to go to his child's private school meetings to get his kid into these private schools, but he wasn't allowed to shave or cut his hair because Vince wouldn't let him.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He had to stay looking like a bum, but also try to get his young son into a private school.
Right.
And I'm looking at myself like, dude, how do you explain this to a prep school?
It's for work, guys.
He did. He said, it's for my job. I have no choice.
It's my job. I got to wear this.
Oh, my God.
I don't like where it ended, but I did love the bum-ass Corbin character. But as far as Paul blubbering and always getting mad at Kayla. It's like a big brother who hates his little sister. I love the love they have.
Yes.
And so he's blubbering, and he's talking about how I was fired for telling the truth.
And by the way, if we go back for a second when he told the truth, he didn't. This is why Paul's a genius. If you actually go back and watch it, he never really endorsed Brock when he said, "I'm protecting you from Brock Lesnar." That wasn't an endorsement. That was legitimately he was still on Roman's side. That's why I look at Paul and I'm like, bro, I hate you because you make me forget about kayfabe for 5 seconds.
Yes.
I love him.
I'm not because the line was, Paul, let me do it. Yeah. Roman, I'm not. I want you to understand. I'm not protecting Brock from you. I'm protecting you from Brock Lesnar.
He never endorsed Brock,
right?
But he still said his name the same way he always.
Right.
It's like, I don't know where you go with this, but damn it if it's not the only thing I want to see in wrestling.
Well, because here was the funny part about the firing no one talks about. So Paul just kind of hugs him. Roman hugs him and, I appreciate you being honest. I love you, my tribal chief.
Yep.
And
I want to thank you for 40
I want
years
to thank
of service to
you for 40 years of service. I love you too, my tribal chief. You're fired. But my tribal chief, and he's still selling.
I know.
He's still holding the title.
He's still going.
Because Roman never took the title from him after he fires him right away.
No, he didn't.
No.
I'm my tribal chief. I don't understand.
He's
so.
And by the way, the Usos just being smarmy in the background, it makes the visual so much better.
Yes.
But it just, folks, Paul E. Dangerously has been great from the moment he picked up a phone. I can't say a microphone. He picked up a formerly giant cell phone.
Right.
It was a brick.
Yes, the brick phone. But I mean, just Jesse, if you think for 5 seconds there was anything better in wrestling this past week, you are an AEW stan.
By the way,
there's a problem.
This is one of the biggest fucking swerves in pro wrestling.
It really is.
He's gonna side with Roman and help Roman win at day one.
Oh,
it's gonna. I'm telling you all now. To quote Paul himself, this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler.
Oh.
He's gonna screw Brock at day one.
But I mean, okay. Let's just focus on the now. They've broken up. Let's look at all the wrinkles that have happened from the moment that Roman came back. Signing a contract with Paul next to him, which we didn't know until the show went off the air.
Yeah.
By the way, with one of the biggest surprises, because remember that was after the Fiend Braun match where it was no DQ and the Fiend won.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, because it was before the music hits.
Yes.
Because Bray is starting to stand up, and we just... by the way, the few times when he does good camera angle work, I have to give him credit.
Yeah.
He doesn't show. All you see is Bray go down. You're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And then you see someone hammering, and you still can't tell. Yeah. And then when he starts to lift his head, you're like, holy shit, it's Roman.
From that
I forgot he was gone.
From that
oh,
moment
yeah.
to the music change, which by the way worked. I don't care. It's shitty piano music, but it works. I just can't. I can't believe how much it works.
Yeah, it's insane.
Seriously,
you had to change it.
Fantastic.
You had to change it for what he had.
Showing up at the last minute for the triple threat after these two beat the shit out of each other.
The whole Jimmy and Jay saga, the lead up to it, the fact that they have just been the little cousins in the background pointing fingers at the other one. I didn't do nothing. It wasn't me. But just Jesse.
The feud with Kevin Owens. By the way, that was at the beginning of this year. People don't remember that.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, the phenomenal feud.
The only issue was trying to get the handcuffs off because that took
right.
That was the only issue.
The absolutely phenomenal feud with Bryan and Edge. Holy shit.
And I think what we have to realize is day one is a rebirth because we're going into a full year with crowds.
Yes.
People got to realize something, Jesse, and we forget because we're trying to get back to normal. He built this without a fan in the world sitting there.
Yeah, he came back during the Thunderdome era.
Yeah. He he became the most hated man in wrestling.
Well, because
while everyone was at home.
One of the most brilliant things that they did during his matches, because people forget, one of the first things he did, because, by the way, it didn't start until after he won the title.
Right.
But it was the first feud with Jay, the first match.
Yeah.
And people, they remember it now, but it was a shock at the moment, was that they started leaving, some mics in the ring.
Right.
And so every now and then, as he's like just beating the shit out of Jay.
Oh, did you see the video from the live fan?
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Aquaman thing?
Yeah.
Leroy, did you see
Oh,
that?
God, yeah.
Oh, my God.
You were great in Aquaman.
It would have made more money if I was in it.
By the way,
probably would have.
By the way, nothing against Jason Momoa, but Roman's just got this aura right now.
Right.
Oh my God, what is it with that family and just like they are going to make all of the money in entertainment? Like
they're just so good.
Ah,
but here's the thing. So like,
and then by the way, the quote independent underground, they own that because Jacob Fatu's down there.
Right.
Well, sorry, no, Contra turned on Jacob.
So with Roman, it was the hate started
MLW
because
Fusion live on Vice.
Yes,
Vice TV.
Yes. So the hate with Roman started because remember, as he's beating the shit out of Jay, he's just like, you didn't belong here.
He's just talking to him the whole time.
Why are you making me do this?
Yeah.
Why are you making?
Yeah.
And you can hear him, and you're like, "What the fuck is wrong with Roman? Like, why is he beating up his cousin like this?" And then of course there was the Hell in a Cell match where like
he didn't beat him like he stole something.
Right.
He beat him like he took his wife and his kids.
Yeah. But remember, then there was the Hell in a Cell match.
Oh God!
Where he at first, remember, you bought into the fact because Roman starts crying because at first he's beating the shit out of him, and then like he starts crying.
Jimmy's
your family.
begging of him,
right outside the cell. Like, come on, man, that's your oos, man, that's your brother.
Yeah.
And he's like, I love you, man. And then he just chokes him the fuck out.
And then he just chokes him
and you're
out
like, dude, he's ruthless.
It's just. He got all of the heat that he was getting from the fans when he was a heel or when he was a face. He got it back as a heel,
and I think,
and you hate him.
Like I told people, I think what really got the heel thing completely over was the backstage segment with Kevin Owens when Kevin's like, "I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna beat." And this is the one where he surprise beats him up.
Yeah,
and then. As he's almost done beating him up, he picks him up. He puts his face. He's like, "Kevin, your family's watching, right? Hi, I'm the head of the table. I'm the tribal chief. I put food on your table. Why does he want to take food off your table?" And I remember watching. I'm like, "I want to fuck you up for Kevin Owens. How dare you?
Yes.
How dare?" But it was so good.
Oh my God!
And like I said when it started,
yeah.
I'm like, he's been one of the absolute best things in pro wrestling. And it hasn't stopped.
Well, yeah, it was Payback, August 30th, 2020.
Yep.
400. This reigned at 483.
The King, because of a lot of things going in New Japan, COVID-wise, has had cool-off moments. Roman has been on fire from the moment.
And you know who we can thank for these moments, to be honest? Bray Wyatt. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
Because think about it. People don't want to think about it, but think about it. You don't get Drip Rollins without the Fiend character.
Yep.
You don't get You don't get the Messiah.
Yep.
You damn sure don't get this because guess what? The Fiend was a face.
Yep.
Like they couldn't even pretend to pipe in booze because on the screens you could tell people were like the Fiend.
They loved it.
Everyone, no one was booing him, so Roman almost had to come back as a heel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So listen, so to that guy, thank you.
Yes. And like we said, if you come back, just make sure you have a direct line to Vince around
from now on
around Funky Love there.
Definitely.
Leroy, do you have the card for day one?
Yes, we do.
Oh, by the way, folks, for those of you wondering where the RK Bronament has gone, there were injuries to both teams that I believe we were now
deciding. But weird enough, the Street Profits were at a live show. Now, I don't know if they wrestled, but they were dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, but both teams had injuries.
But the Usos returned this past. The Mysterios returned this past Monday. So
right.
Yes, they did.
I hope they're going to do that soon because I would like to see it. And because I kind of want to see Riddle put on the stupid fucking announcer suit and do that one more time.
I was hoping so bad that Riddle was going to sit next to us.
I fucking love
that. Would have been
Oh.
that would have been awesome if you would.
Matt
Randy.
Matt Riddle, now known as Riddle. Everyone was like, "Man, this is going to get old quick." It hasn't.
It hasn't.
It hasn't.
No.
We're enjoying the
It's
stoner.
like-
And by the way, the shit he's doing in NXT is getting over.
Bro, like,
Shaman Riddle, that's
one of the funniest
Bro.
things.
Oh my god.
Well, even when he botches it, people forget he had that botch moment with Asuka, but he fucking was dying laughing so hard that he fucked up his line.
Yep.
That she started crying.
Yep.
And that when they went back to they were crying like he fucked up the whole thing.
but it worked.
But it worked with
They
the
kept
character
going.
because you're like, was that supposed to happen?
He legitimately just went,
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Yep. Well, listen, there was two matches.
It was so good.
It was so good.
There's
It was
two
so
matches I thought they said that we're going to have
Yeah.
at day one. One of them was AJ and Omos.
good. Yeah, no.
And that might be on Raw.
I think that's all wrong
But
now.
then, and I thought, because I was going to print it out last night, I waited. But also, I thought that they're going to have the Intercontinental Championship match at day one
By the
also.
way, going
but
back,
that
going
hasn't
back to-
been
before we get to the rest
put
of the
on there
card,
yet.
Before,
Yeah.
Jesse, we hinted at it earlier. We don't know the particulars, but if Zayn's back, forget the Universal title. For him to win back the Intercontinental title,
Oh, God, yes.
the celebration that will happen.
Here's the story that's there, though, because, by the way, they've kind of botched that run.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke,
Right, yeah.
well,
But
he hasn't defended it.
no, which
That's
is the
the
problem.
bad part.
If he didn't have the title, this shit with Boogs would be amazing.
Right.
But he's holding the title. That's the
Right,
problem.
right,
Yeah.
right. So here's the thing with that. It's the guy that Shinsuke had to get away from. Because remember, him and Cesaro were in that like loop with him.
Yeah.
trying to,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
because he was already Intercontinental Champion.
exactly. Yeah.
And that's one of the guys that Shinsuke almost beat for the title before.
Yeah.
So I think that's a kind of a cool story full circle to get the title back on Sammy. Plus, you don't need to be world champion when you're one of the most entertaining things on SmackDown. All they do is change his music a little bit and let him be crazy. And Sami Zayn is a fucking genius. And it's one of the best things on SmackDown. I love it.
And they had a good.
But yeah, I think
they
that,
did have a good match together in NXT too.
Well,
Yeah.
well, listen. The
And
main,
by the-
I don't know if the main roster will let them have that match.
You know what?
Yeah.
Jesse, here's the thing. It's not about will they allow them. They're in two different places since then.
True.
Yeah.
In a way, Shinsuke is still Shinsuke, but Sammy is not the Sammy of NXT.
Right.
He's not the
Yeah.
newly unmasked kid who everyone's like, "Oh shit, you can talk." it's Jesse. If the match doesn't live up to the first one, which by the way, it's hard to.
I mean, that's a classic
'Cause-
match.
Yeah.
That's arguably Nakamura's best match in America.
Yeah, that's without a doubt
Right.
his best match in America.
Also, I would put it up against maybe any match he's had in New Japan, and he's had some good matches over there.
Oh yeah.
I'd put it up against a lot of them.
I was hoping that would be on day one. I don't know. They haven't announced.
There's something about
Maybe.
Sami Zayn right now that I don't know if they're going to be allowed to do the same thing. But here's the deal: Sammy gonna make whatever they do work.
Right.
And by the
yeah.
way, folks, again, WWE clearly wanted Sami Zayn to come back because the way Sammy's been, you don't interact with top guys
right.
if they're just letting you walk out the door.
right,
yeah.
right.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention the fact you don't necessarily work with top guys 2 to 3 weeks in a row.
Right.
And also, as Jesse said, when you get an endorsement from Brock,
Oh yeah.
they gotta re-sign you then.
Like-
I mean, that's
That's the ringing "you can stay here for life" endorsement at that point.
Damn right.
Because honestly, I don't think Brock
Mm-hmm.
has had this much fun since R-Truth came out. Which, by the way, Jesse, we talked about that was a Confederate uniform that R-Truth was all into doing.
And here's the thing,
that
like
is-
that one or the "you're a big man," but he was all talking about Paul Heyman.
yeah.
Like so someone the story of course behind that is Brock pissed himself, like he was laughing so hard
Yeah.
that even when he went backstage to talk with Truth afterwards, he said, man, why haven't we worked together more before? We got to work together more in the future. He's like, I've never laughed so fucking hard on live TV in my life.
Because here's the deal. I think if we had not K Quick, but if we had Ron Killings, R-Truth, back in the Attitude Era, I think there would have been an undisputed champion of making Taker break kayfabe because.
Oh, he
could
have.
JBL got close once, but yeah, I think he would have did it.
I think he would have done it.
Ron would have done it because here's the deal, folks. Brock Lesnar was on national television with Paul Heyman trying to be a heel, trying to be a badass, trying to say fuck you to the fans, and could not help but piss himself laughing. Because Truth,
as the British would say, made him take the piss. Oh. He could not stop laughing.
I mean,
I wouldn't be able to myself.
I thought Brock with the boombox was funny. Brock with R-Truth was hilarious.
I remember I laughed, and I'm like, I'm actually mad that I'm laughing at this stupid motherfucker dancing
right.
around with this boombox. But go ahead with the card.
Yeah,
all right, we will start, and this is kind of a weird one. I don't understand it.
Yep.
But we have Drew McIntyre against Madcap Moss in a singles match.
This is going to be, I think, the ending of Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss. I think we're going to move on from that. I think that's what it is because that was a legitimate. When he threw him out of the Battle Royal, there was a laugh joke about it. That was a legitimate. Wait, you just put me in a match with Drew McIntyre? We didn't discuss this.
Yeah. It's like whatever that story's going to.
I have a feeling that's where it's going. I could be wrong, but I mean,
I just know Drew's gonna whoop his ass.
Oh, Drew's gonna whoop his ass all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, Drew's gonna whoop that ass. So
yeah.
Beat
Also, by the way,
holy hell out of him.
I don't care what people said. The segment of Drew pulling the sword out and them not being able to do it, that was just fun.
I thought that was a lot of fun.
I thought that was just a good time. I
the
really
build
did.
up to that moment was bad because it went on way too long.
I agree.
But I thought the moment itself was funny.
Yeah.
Because Drew sold it really well.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, all right, what else we got?
We have the rematch for the Raw Women's Championship, Becky against Liv Morgan.
I don't know if they pull the trigger on Liv yet.
They're not.
They're not going to. I don't
think so.
Because I think even they see that we have someone that connects with the fans, but she's just not ready to actually carry the strap.
No,
and I love
yet.
Liv Morgan. I do.
She didn't do anything wrong when I talk about this. She didn't do anything wrong. But that fucking tape segment, you guys don't know. So they pre-recorded a segment.
Which one?
Where they had Liv supposedly try to go and take Becky out in her own
that thing.
gym.
I did see that, yeah.
God, that was terrible. That
wasn't
was
that
so
good.
bad.
I've never seen a babyface look worse because not only did you try to go and take her out, but you failed to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And then you talked about how you failed to do it on Raw.
Yeah.
That's not her fault.
No, it's not.
By the way, her promos are a little rough.
Yeah.
I think that's because of the notes she's given, so she feels like she has to hit certain beats and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
But
because in the ring, she's really good.
She
has improved so much.
Nothing against Ruby Soho, but in ring, it's hard to say that they're not on equal footing right now.
Oh, they definitely are. They definitely are.
And Ruby's
in the ring.
Yes. Oh, no. Ruby is still mild, except for that really bad line she had about Adam Cole and Britt Baker. Because Jesse, now that you look back on it, that was a bad line.
That was a stupid line.
It was the obvious, which by the way, Ruby has never done the obvious.
No,
that's been her thing.
Right.
So, but anyway, no.
So yeah,
Liv is not getting it yet.
I don't think so. Not yet.
But
not
what
yet.
they have done to give them credit,
yes,
even when she loses,
yes,
you created another woman to be in the title picture now.
Yeah,
and a legitimate,
a legitimate contender to be there.
Yes,
she could get it sometime this next year.
She
could.
I will make a guess towards SummerSlam.
Yeah, not a long. I don't think a very long reign, but
I think
she'll get
you
it.
could build Liv in the title picture, but just outside the bubble, up until SummerSlam. Give her a win there, and then I don't know.
Because Bianca's probably taking that shit back at WrestleMania.
Well,
that's gonna happen.
Well, that's a good
Jesse,
possibility. Yeah,
I already told you she beat Becky on the dark match after Raw.
Right.
So, I mean, those things usually lead to something.
Usually does a feeler.
But that's my thing. Look. I would sit Liv down and I would say, we're gonna build you to SummerSlam. You're not gonna. We'll give you something at WrestleMania. It won't be a top of the card thing. It'll probably be first day, or if it's day 2, it's like gonna be the first 3 matches.
Right.
We're gonna give you 10 minutes at WrestleMania because again, Jesse, we have to think about building a full show, not just one person.
I mean, the other opportunity that they have with her, is you have a Royal Rumble coming up.
Yes.
Which allows you that if you let her win, she can go to SmackDown.
Yes.
And now be a legitimate threat to Charlotte.
You know what? I think the only issue, Tony Storm's got that locked up in my opinion.
Does she?
No. Locked
I'm
up
hoping.
in my mind that's who I want to see.
Okay, I mean the way that she lost,
I agree,
wasn't very promising.
I agree.
Yeah.
To be fair though, Gene actually pointed this out. I'm not sure Gene agrees after the beatdown, but I'll say this, Jesse. There is a weird dynamic with Tony Storm. She can do either heel or face beautifully.
Yeah, she does that very good.
Trying to make Tony the sympathetic baby face, maybe not the best idea, but we'll see what Tony can do. But my point is,
she got dominated.
I agree.
So this almost goes back to the Tim Tebow conversation of about 10 years ago, where people were like, he's winning the games, and I'm like, yeah, but he fucking sucked. For 50 minutes of football, where a defense had to dominate for 50 minutes.
And a kicking game.
She was dominated for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
How do you get her back to that spot?
I don't know. But like I said, Tony.
Hopefully.
No, all I'm saying is that Tony can do it.
By the way, Tony is not Tim Tebow. She's better than Tim Tebow was at his job. Let's be very clear.
Oh yeah.
She might also be a better football player, but who knows?
She probably is.
Yeah.
But it's just
Tim, you were a baseball player trying to play football.
Right. But people don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah,
but after
we
watching,
ain't ready for that evangelism. Yet.
But just after that match on SmackDown, I'm like, where does she go now? Because this was not a back and forth match.
No, I agree.
If it was like a classic match and then Charlotte cheated to win, you'd be like,
yeah,
okay, they're gonna continue this.
But my point is this. My point is this, Leroy.
They'll do it again.
Sit down, Liv. 10 minutes at WrestleMania. That's something.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
We're gonna build you to a 20-minute style classic at SummerSlam. You're not ready for the big show, but we'll give you a big 5.
Right.
We'll give you a big 5, but we can't give you WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Right. Which is fair to Liv, by the way. That's not me being mean. That's fair to her.
Like I
at this
said,
point.
they have built her into a star. So,
but WrestleMania is a different animal.
And it's just the way that some of this has gone. It is clear to me the Bianca angle is still the best angle to go because that headlines night 1 easily.
I don't think they even saw Bianca still having that much clout with the fans after I love Bianca. I looked that woman in the face and said, I've seen you all 3 brands, and she said, I know that's right. So I love me some Bianca. But I want to point something out. I don't remember the last time I saw a loser of a championship match still have that much momentum.
Oh yeah.
How?
And to be honest, maybe it wasn't even their booking. Maybe it's
God,
just her.
no! It's just who she is.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's just
definitely.
her.
She was in Knoxville County, and I'm like, you'd think every person in that arena knew her personally.
Right.
Because that's how she made it come off.
Right.
Now,
right.
I don't know. It's your table.
He's breaking things over there.
Well,
something.
yeah.
I don't know what the hell.
But no. Jesse, quick question.
Terrible.
Quick question. To finish up, Liv, would you take it off at just Survivor Series? Basically, just let her hold it to Survivor Series, or would you take it off like a couple weeks later on Raw?
If she won at SummerSlam,
Yeah.
I'd give her a couple-month run.
Okay.
I think a couple months would be good.
I mean, hell, I might even do up to the Royal Rumble because for baby faces, the chase is better.
I think if
than
you build another video package of her growing up, you could get a couple months out of she's there for the little girls that want to do it.
Because
next match.
That's true. All right.
Fucking video package.
Then
oh my God.
we have.
Try, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, the one with her and her mother was great. I just that one with Becky.
Oh
Becky
God.
Sham.
Yeah, no, we ain't talking about
Sorry,
it.
go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead, Leroy.
Then we got this, and I think I'm going to enjoy this match. Edge versus The Miz.
The problem with this,
They're gonna make it work, but Go ahead, Jesse.
They have fucked up this build like I've never seen a build get fucked up. That whole doing two like there was almost no point to them having the cutting edge because he suspected it, he knew it was going to happen, and he still took the Miz's finisher.
Yeah,
Edge is going to win.
Yeah,
that I can tell you.
Yeah,
but I'm like, well, you kind of hurt this now because there was no point because you did the whole Miz show just for AJ and Omos, but that's telling me you don't believe in him as a talker, Omos as a talker.
Right.
So like what you but at the same time now you've also hurt Miz. I don't know, but it should be a very good match.
It should be, and I think this is. It seems like it's going towards they're going to have a mixed tag. Possibly.
I believe so.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be
Probably,
the next one.
Because Beth is no longer working with NXT.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
no longer commentating, I should say. with
Commenting
NXT.
on NXT.
If you ain't got Beth Phoenix down there teaching people what to do, oh my God, you're missing out there.
She
If
has
she
to be.
wants to, I know she talked
Of
about
course.
being home more.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no, of course. Well, I mean, at the same time, though, I'm talking more, I don't know, go train on the weekends,
Maybe.
and she can be with the girls Monday through Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. All right. We got the next one. We have the SmackDown Championship, the two best tag teams on SmackDown, I believe. The Usos, the champs, against the New Day.
You said the best tag teams on SmackDown, sir?
On
No,
SmackDown.
They're two of the best in the world, good sir.
I know what they're on SmackDown, the two best on SmackDown.
Is this the fall of the bloodline just yet?
They will lose.
Okay.
I actually believe the Usos will lose.
Okay.
I think so too.
And that starts to begin, even though I think he's going to screw Brock, Paul Heyman is.
Yeah.
That starts to now it will start to get
Well, now
into
you
the
go
head.
into the natural progression of if you had a television season.
Right.
Now it's the whole Paul can get his on the Usos,
Right.
where they tried to get theirs on Paul.
Right.
So it's a pound of flesh for a pound of flesh type
Right.
situation, which again would work for another couple of months.
Right.
But no. What you're gonna see is arguably two of the greatest tag teams that just said we're gonna make it work in WWE.
Yep.
And they have.
Oh yes.
Like, these are arguably two of the best teams.
This is people don't realize this is the Hardys against the Dudleys.
Oh, easily.
It is. It's a new version of it. Yes.
Yeah. No.
This is
100%.
This. You want to watch a WWE pay-per-view? It's funny. Watch day one because you're about to get a lot of really excellent matches.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think a lot of them are definitely going to be allowed to go the distance.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be
well,
a very,
with this little amount of matches, I
Yeah.
expect a lot of them to be at least
6.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe one on the pre-show.
Right.
All right, next one, and we have talked about this a lot, and we're going to talk about it again, is Brock and Roman Reigns.
Jesse, I think you have thrown an interesting wrinkle into that.
Like I said, he's a genius at this.
Yeah.
This is a fucking swerve if I've ever seen one.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna screw Brock.
It is a good possibility, yes. I do agree
Because I
with you
think
there.
they want Brock to win the Rumble this year.
Yeah.
On the men's side.
And the other thing about it is that, again, Brock is Teflon. A loss to a top guy means nothing to Brock Lesnar.
Literally nothing.
It doesn't hurt Brock at all.
That's why, like, when people were like, maybe he should have lost to Finn, I'm like, maybe because wouldn't have hurt him.
You know what's interesting? Can you imagine if Twitter had existed when Shane Helms pinned The Rock
Wow.
Oh, my.
as
Yeah.
Hollywood,
Yeah.
as Hollywood Rock? See, this is why I hate the wrestling internet right now. The IC or the internet wrestling community, the IWC. You know who you are. You would have ripped creative for this. You would have ripped everyone for it. But at the time, that was one of the biggest pops of the freaking
Yes, it
Ruthless
was.
Aggression era.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was.
Because ain't nobody thinking that was happening.
No
Yep.
one thought Hurricane
And by
would
the
be
way,
Rock.
it was only supposed to be a 1 week thing.
Right.
A one-time thing. And then it's like, why does this work? Why is this a thing?
Makes no sense.
But okay. And Shane Helms can say, I pinned The Rock. So, you know, it's,
That feud between them was so fun.
oh, it was so much fun. But that's my thing is just Brock is Teflon.
Right.
As long as he's and as long as he's losing to a top guy, the internet can't say anything.
Right.
Now, if he lost to anyone below a top guy, then it'd be a Hurricane Rock opposite situation where
Right.
it'd be a big in the arena moment, but it would suck for the internet.
Right.
Well, they would think it sucked. But my point is this: is that I
Yes.
think it's a swerve. I agree. And like I said, I think they want Brock to go into the Rumble and do a situation like where Brock was when it was for the title.
Right.
Is they just want him to run through like 15, 16 guys.
Probably.
Yeah, and he definitely will.
Guys, this year's Royal Rumble, don't expect to have much of a moment if you're buff. If you're 15 guys after Brock Lesnar.
Well, is it?
That's why Brock maybe just. You know what, Jesse? Maybe just have a year where all 30 guys are in the ring and make Brock 30. Maybe just do it.
And then he just eliminates everybody.
Watch him just start throwing people out like it's nobody's business.
Well, they did put the odds out for the Royal Rumble, possible the men's winner.
We missed
but
the match.
That might change.
We got one more match.
I know. I'm just saying that.
We'll talk about the betting odds around.
We'll do that. We'll do that
Actually,
in
we
a
can
couple
just do
weeks.
that right after this.
Yeah.
So
after we review next week, after we review this to see what happens, we can definitely do that.
What? I'm actually interested. What are the betting odds?
Let's get the last match for day one, and then
Well,
we'll get to the betting odds.
the last match is the Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Championship. Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley.
I'd be hard. Now, okay, I get that. Okay, I think that Big E will come out on top. I
don't.
My only issue. Well, no. Let me finish.
Okay.
I think Big E will come out on top. My only issue is that, boy, have you built Bobby Lashley to just lose.
Unfortunately,
that's my opinion, but I mean, to be fair, actually, you know what's interesting? If you really analyze it, the two white boys could sneak out of this with the title.
Yeah.
Here, let me give you another spoiler. Since Roman's not losing anything,
yeah,
Kevin Owens is about to be your WWE champion.
Okay.
I'm actually about to tell you beat for beat, and if it happens,
is it in his PowerPoint? Because I wanted to see it so bad.
I believe this wasn't his PowerPoint.
Okay,
all right.
You know,
it was the slides he didn't let Seth see.
I had to give up thousands of dollars for this information.
Okay.
So he's gonna get Seth. This whole team between them, and he's gonna get Seth.
Okay.
And that's how he's gonna win the title. And he's still gonna be a heel, and they're still gonna be together because they just work together.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is how you kind of protect E.
By the way, as odd as the visionary gimmick comes off, and as not kill Steen kill, but fight Owens fight as this is, they're arguably at the peak of their careers.
Some people will actually say that without these two, Raw would be unwatchable. That's how some people feel. But they're really good.
This is arguably the best we've seen of Kevin Steen and Tyler Black.
Right.
This is arguably them as overall performers as great as they've ever been.
Right. Because they do hate each other.
Yes.
But they're like, man, that Bobby Lashley's a fucking throw. We got to get rid of that guy.
Big E, I've got notes. I'm just like, somebody handed Kevin a thing of Post-it notes, and he just ran with it.
I will say this about Big E. They haven't booked him well, but he's been great. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're going to take a shot at the company you work for, do it at Big E does it. Let me turn my back to the fucking TV. You know how I like to have them like watch sideways? And let me take notes.
When he did that, I'm like, Big E is so deep into the IWC, it's not even funny.
Or the interview this past Monday when Kevin was going to ask, "Can you two He's like, "Whoa, we don't use the C word around here," which he meant coexist.
Yep.
I also want to point something out. When he said "big meaty men slapping meat," I sat there. I'm like, is he listening to us?
I know.
Hey, you are more than welcome, baby.
We'll license the shirts.
Right, we'll do it.
Damn right.
We ain't got nothing wrong with that.
Right, dude, we love it.
They won't do it, but we will.
We will definitely do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
God.
I think
it's been great.
I
He'll
think
get the title back.
I just think the problem is people wanted him to be a quote-unquote dominant champion. And I'm like, look, I get it. But can we stop with comparing to the champions of old and just try to enjoy what the champ is doing right now? And by the way, folks, this is a young African-American man who I don't think a lot of people saw as going far early on. Mostly because, yes, he was a big guy, but we didn't know if he could talk based on what they gave him as a gimmick.
Right.
Then you let him be himself, and then I'm all of a sudden like, oh shit, this mofo's got everything.
Right.
So like, can we just okay? There is not a cookie cutter way to make a wrestler. Just like I think for years, Jesse, black wrestlers got thrown into a mold that was a bit of a disservice, because then like we talked about earlier, you saw New Day come out and be themselves, and you're all of a sudden like, okay, this is working,
right?
And they're basically doing it themselves.
Listen, they were able to sell a cereal called Bootios,
which was good, by the way,
for over 2 years.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
There you go.
They were able in their PG era to sell a cereal called Bootios for 2 years. No wonder these guys might all get title runs.
Definitely.
They're excellent.
I think E's going to make it through this one, and if he loses it, Royal Rumble at there for a title, and then his journey to WrestleMania to get a WrestleMania moment to get it back. I can see that maybe.
Here is a dilemma to me that WWE is in as far as their top titles.
Yeah.
You see, you moved all these great guys to Raw to build that top-heavy time, because really you didn't have a lot of contenders still over there.
I agree.
But the problem is on SmackDown, at this point you probably have 2 legitimate threats. One is already facing Roman next Saturday.
Yeah.
And the other is Drew McIntyre. That's it.
Okay, let's say they go with the whole Rock's going to win at WrestleMania.
Here's the thing, though, about Rock.
Yeah.
He's already confirmed.
Right.
He has a movie.
Right.
He ain't going to be there.
No.
Yeah.
No, and I agree with that. But my point is this, is that
that man busy. If you don't book him 2 years ahead of time, you're fucked.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
I agree. Which, by the way, folks, he will keep that commitment. He is
Yes, he will.
He is all about keeping
Yes, he
commitments.
is.
But no, it's just with Roman, though. I think what's really unique is I think you're forgetting about one other person, Jesse. Actually, 2 people, and they both wrestled each other on a UK circuit recently.
I mean, Walter is always a possibility.
I'm talking about Cesaro. I know what happened. I know what happened.
And I see where he is now, and I don't feel good.
But my point is that if they...
It gives me the tummy rumblies.
But if they... That might be the salsa. But
No. That made me tummy feel good.
Okay.
But when you bring up the Cesaro Roman Reigns thing, it gives me the fart bubblies in the stomach.
Well, but the thing about it is, Jesse,
yeah.
for me, we talked about whoever gets to Roman's going to have to deal with the Usos first. People don't realize... Back at the height of the hate for the fact that the Usos were always involving themselves, that was really the Cesaro run.
Right.
So what I'm saying to you is that if Cesaro comes back and sort of builds himself back up by
Finn Balor.
Yes, yeah, Finn as well. If either of those guys comes back and starts to get to Roman by defeating the tail of the snake before the head of the snake, it could maybe lead to a nice pop, is all I'm saying.
True. By the way, that's my other prediction of 2020. Actually, we should do predictions next week. So another prediction for 2020.
Which is fine.
I was thinking about that.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm
and
down.
Sheamus, too, he's still there.
I think Finn Balor will finally get the WWE Championship this year.
People have to realize something. If you actually look back in history, for a guy who got hurt after being put in the spot.
Right. He was going to be the guy.
Arguably, since coming back from injury, I don't know if anyone's had a better run. Shown a lot of trust in this guy.
Oh, yeah.
People want to sit there and say, look, it wasn't Japan. Different thing. It's not canon in WWE. It's not. Okay, stop with that.
Oh, another prediction. That fucking idiot Nick Khan.
We'll finally get the deal done.
He gets the deal done.
By day 1 next year?
Close.
Well, hey, see, we can...
I call by SummerSlam.
Okay.
Oh, man. This is a wild prediction.
Okay.
And I'm not going to get it. But by Survivor Series,
okay.
We as fans of pro wrestling will get what we always wanted. Yano and WWE.
He's tailor-made for Vince. He really is.
See, yeah,
and by the way, that will be my moment where Jesse's going to have to check up on me.
I will admit, I think I will come so much I'll die. But
what a way to go.
That's a way to go.
But that because for some reason I've had this feeling. We'll do predictions next week. Yeah.
We can do a recap for the year and a prediction.
I like that.
So
I like that.
yeah.
Let's do that.
To basically, rehash my point. Stop thinking about Prince Devitt.
Right.
Think about Finn Balor.
Right.
They've put a lot of trust in him.
Right.
He's been in major storylines. He's been at the top of the card. He's handled the mid card. He's done everything they've asked, and he's been phenomenal at it. Mm-hmm. And it was a freak accident that nobody could have predicted.
Right.
Yep.
That's what led to it.
Right.
It's not like he's proven, knock on wood, that he's injury prone.
Right.
But I think what people don't realize is that he's arguably had a very good run.
He's had an excellent run.
And that's my point, is that if you just look at it in a bubble and not compare it to his other stuff, because people actually, it's funny, Jesse, I remember when you first came on the show, you had to get corrected by me because I had to double look it up. He never won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Shockingly, yeah, no. I thought he did.
Jesse, that's the one. Even you, a hardcore New Japan stan, is not immune to what other people in the IWC are, which is not forgetting New Japan never gave him the big title. Arguably, Vince has done more. No offense to the Bullet Club.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and to be fair, you're talking about losses to the two greatest aces of
I'm not saying Gato gave him nothing.
I mean, you talk about losing to Tanahashi, or as now he's called Sexy Hashi.
All right.
And Okada, who is, like as I keep telling you, Leroy, at some point I have to send you the videos, and you'll be like, yep, he's the Rock of New Japan.
Oh, yeah.
I get why they believe in him.
And I think at some point when maybe it gets a little too bad for him, because the man's not going to age for another 65 years.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
You're thinking of Kenny Omega's former tag team partner. That guy hasn't aged in 30 years, especially not in the face.
He might go do some, Japanese film star stuff. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
But anyway, Leroy, we got some betting odds here for the Rumble, and then we'll wrap things up till next year.
I know this is the ones I have right now. The top ones.
Yeah.
Top is, and this could change after next
obviously,
Saturday.
Yeah, obviously.
Brock Lesnar's 3-1 odds.
Obviously.
Seth Rollins.
I would almost put Brock at a 3-2 odd.
Right.
Yeah.
Favorite.
All these are 3, and the last one is funniest.
Okay.
Brock 3-1.
Yep.
Seth Rollins 7-1.
Okay.
Omos 8-1 to win the Rumble.
I would put more money on Omos over Seth.
Okay.
Just because of
Omos is 8-1.
Yep.
He's an 8-1 odd.
Yep.
Ooh.
AJ 9-1.
Okay.
The Rock 9-1.
As long as AJ is a single digit to win,
I know they put the Rock in here, but hey, all the
people want that shit so bad,
and that's why they put him in there.
To be fair, though, Jesse,
that is all Roman Reigns' fault.
To be fair,
for bringing up his cousin.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But Jesse, to be fair though,
it's good.
Fox News might pay some studios to pull back a movie for a little bit.
Listen, WB, who owns USA, would probably pay for it. By the way, WB also actually has the possibility to put their shit on HBO Max as well because they own Turner Network.
Right, exactly.
But of course they would. Yeah. It's The Rock. Yeah. But guys, I get it. Because we got to see John Cena. By the way, you talk about someone who hasn't aged well. Dumb legs don't look good.
He is not doing leg day much anymore.
That looks like leg atrophy like a motherfucker, and some days I get concerned.
Yeah.
But, guys, we're not going to see The Rock come back to WWE this year.
No.
You're going to predict it. You're going to predict it.
No.
You guys are probably going to be right. But right now, I am standing on the hill alone.
Okay.
He ain't coming back this year.
I don't think he'll be back.
Fox News might say, screw it. Fox News might say, Tony, you're never getting that guy.
No shit.
Mostly because Rock is such a family man. He knows what Vince has done for his family. He knows his family's legacy has nothing to do with Tony Khan. There's not an amount. Because here's the deal. there's not an amount of money in the world that Tony Khan can offer The Rock outside of literally giving him the
he's
company.
already kind of set some peace on AEW, but
Yeah.
it was all just positive shout-outs to a lot of the wrestlers.
Well, because I don't think the Rock can say anything negative because he spins everything in a pot. That man has the gift of gab like no human being in history recorded has ever found.
That is true.
There's something about that.
I mean,
All right.
listen,
That's
The Rock is everything Hulk Hogan can never be.
Exactly.
Continue with the odds.
Yeah.
Including a nice person.
Exactly.
Oh, damn.
I just
damn.
finished
Shush.
Jesse's thought.
Just shush.
He's
I
a
just
douche.
Shush. Hey,
All right.
shush.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Leroy.
Shush.
Your hero's an asshole.
Shush. I don't care. Shush.
Finish it up, Leroy.
Shush. Kevin Owens, 10-1.
Okay.
Damian
That is
Priest.
if Kevin doesn't win like you said.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
right.
These things are
Yeah.
subject to
right,
change.
right.
Yeah.
Just
Gotta
like
be
the
like
show.
Jesus.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we love that.
Well, that rankings thing is still one of the best subject to change things we ever did
Mm-hmm.
because you lost your ever loving shit in that.
Right.
That was so much fun.
All right. Damian Priest,
Have to do that again.
12-1.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre, 12-1.
Wow, that's low.
I know. Here, this one you're gonna really scratch your head, both you guys.
Okay.
Roman Reigns, 14-1.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have always wondered.
Especially since he's not losing the title.
Well, no.
Well, I know. That's why they had it in there.
It's not that. I'm surprised Vince didn't come up with this. I'm surprised it's a New Japan thing. And Jesse will know what I'm talking about in a second. The champion is always in the G1.
Yes.
And essentially, if they win, they get to pick their opponent.
Yep.
I'm surprised Vince never came up with that.
I know.
I'm surprised that was a New Japan thing.
Because every time I watch the G1 and see that happen, I'm like, wait, why didn't Vince fuck that? Let me borrow that. That's great.
Not just the G1 in general, but like the
Well,
idea to put
I'm
the champ in
I'm
there.
gonna put the world champions in the Rumble, and then if one of them wins the Rumble, they can choose who they want to face at WrestleMania.
Or if they're heel, they could literally sit there and say, "Screw it, I ain't defending at WrestleMania."
And then that leads to a story where they had to
Yeah,
defend
exactly,
it against. Yeah, I
There
mean,
you
the
go.
story almost writes itself.
It's a good story.
I'm surprised Vince never came up with that.
All right. Then we have Bobby Lashley,
Okay.
16-1.
That's odd and low.
Yeah.
Riddle, 16-1.
He ain't winning.
No,
And I
no,
love
no.
Riddle, but he ain't winning.
Riddle's been the highlight of this year
Here.
overall.
Right,
but
right.
He ain't
He
winning.
ain't
the Rumble.
winning the Rumble.
Here's another fun one again. Big E, 18-1.
If Big E's in the Rumble, that's a low. That's a bet you take high.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, because if he wins, you're going to win a lot of money.
Yeah, you bet the high on that one.
Right, because there's no fucking way. If he's in the Rumble,
Yeah.
oh, he's got a chance.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's the other thing.